Hi, everyone. Is this muted? Can you all hear me? Let me check my microphone. Is this microphoning? Can you all hear me? Hear me, can you? Can you all get it together? Period. Can you all hear me? Should I speak louder? Does it get better the louder I go? All right, awesome. Thank you all for being here. I don't know why no one told me that today was a holiday. Yeah, why why no one told me today was a holiday? So that was a pleasant surprise. Like, I was very depressed going to bed last night. I was like, oh my God, I have to get up. Anyway, wait, is today not a holiday? Wait, let me check something. Let me check, because I definitely thought I wait, if today y'all playing in my face. Let me check my calendar, because definitely, yeah, it's President's Day. Yeah. All right. So before we get to keto rolls, I wanted to say that thank you all for being here, and I'm trying to get back into like more other kinds of content, right? And not just political stuff. I know that a lot of you feel stifled. Lotus K, welcome to the membership. Cause, welcome to the membership. Kitty, welcome to the membership. All right, so we have 3 new members. I appreciate that. We are reading Kingdom of the Wicked, book 2 in the series. I think it's Kingdom of the Cursed. That's the book we're on. So yeah, please read all of that, blah, 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 yay, yay, yay. Before we start, I want us to do a commercial. Okay, that's good. I did that. I ate that. I want us to do a commercial before we start, because one of the things that I've been fascinated about is the church. Oh, I love the political stuff. It helps. I appreciate that. Thank you. Because I've been going to the gym so much, everything feels really tight on me. I probably need to change my wardrobe, because like these are too small now. A buff king is here. Anyway, let's go over and watch a commercial. Y'all ready? Ariel, Ariel, let me try to give more chest. All right. By the way, Discord, if any of y'all want to come up with me with the keto roast thing, I know Vitamin was the one who introduced me to this mess. So if any of y'all want to come up, know that I'm available. Why are the Discord so messy? Anyway, let's hear what the Heffies has to say. So men aren't going to church. I think this is a problem. And I do actually appreciate Heffies tackling the men not going to church issue. So let me check my camera, because it's like blurry. It's definitely giving blurry. Hi, it's giving side profile. All right, period.
When it comes to average church attendance, only 39% are men. Today, we'll be breaking down why men hate going to church and what we can do about it. Let's check out today's video. To me, this is a byproduct of what I call motherly language versus fatherly language. And what we see in today's world is that we don't have enough fatherly language. Now I'll explain to you what I mean by that. Here's what motherly language is like. Mom, generally speaking, loves her children. And moms want nothing but the best for her children. So mom constantly will tell her children, I love you, you're great, you're amazing, X, Y, Z. So mom is best when it comes to love. Fathers show
Mom is best when it comes to love is diabolical work. So men just can't love. Dads don't know how to love. Dad don't love. Like, I don't understand. Maybe showing love is different for different people, but the whole incapable is coming to mind now. And I ain't going to do it because that's not my content. But like, if he's out of pocket, or maybe he's being honest.
show love not by telling you I love you, but fathers show you love by telling you I'm proud of you. And what the difference is that love is unconditional.
So mothers don't say I'm proud of you, and that's not true. The way he splits up the domain of the masculine and feminine is so out of pocket and wrong, like from literally everyone's experience. Well, I'm sorry. Look, I'm sorry. Let me leave that alone. I'm gonna be messy. I'm gonna be messy. Love to black men are Have you said men are incapable of love? that's what I hear. That's Hafiz is a professional. Yeah.
Being proud of you is conditional. So, for example, as believers, we know that God can love us unconditionally, but when we're in sin, is God proud of what we're doing? No, he's not. The Bible makes it clear about how God feels about us sinning. Because so many people, they simply believe that loving someone is just allowing them to do whatever they want. That's entitled, no disrespect to anybody, Upper East Side liberal white mom love. And this is exactly why men hate going to church.
Wait, yo, I'm sorry. Honest to God, like I literally just looked at the title. I looked at the title. Wait. Wait. I looked at the title and I knew it was gonna be some mess, but like that's exactly why. What? No, mothers love, fathers love, proud of, not proud of, who shows love more, and that's exactly why men don't go to church anymore. Wait, what? Wait, yeah, yeah. Wait, yeah. Oh my God, I'm sweating. It is cold outside, so I don't know why I'm sweating. I need to take this off now. Yeah, what did this man just explain?
And I'll explain.
Okay, so you go explain. When you say, and that's why blah, the assumption is you have already explained what you needed to explain, and then you can conclude by saying that's why, whatever it is that you were positing. He saw his friends laughing at him, and he realized he absolutely said nothing. His friends say, look at it. His friends say, his friends ain't it. His friends say it. They're not that. Fine, this ain't right. This ain't right. And this is not what I'm here to do today. This is not what I'm here to do today, but let him cook. Hafiz, I'm here for you. Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
What I've noticed that all you guys have described that's wrong with our culture, instead of the church taking the lead, right, instead of the church taking the lead and saying that we are going to set the temperature, right? That we are going to be the thermostats, not the thermometer. What unfortunately the church has done is the church has reflected the behaviors of the culture. And in the same way, the culture tells men and women that, hey, you're good just the way you are. You don't have to change. You don't got to stop doing this. You don't got to stop doing that. We love you, and you can be exactly who you want to be, that you feel like deep down inside. That same unhealthy message of the world has now creeped into the church, where now you have these church leaders who are like, oh, you want to be gay? Oh, you want to sleep around with multiple women? Oh, you want to be drunk? Oh, you want to be X, Y, Z? Guess what? You can just remain just the way you are. You don't got to change. You don't got to repent. And then they take this weird warped message and say, God loves you just the way you are. And it's like, yes-ish. God loves you, and that love compels you to repentance.
Right.
And so what happens is that now you have these churches like that freaking Watson National Cathedral that are so freaking woke and that have all these unhealthy ideas. And it's no longer sermons preaching the word of God. But now it's literal lectures from a college professor.
God loves you. Yes, ish. Diabolical. Diabolical. But that's not what's fascinating to me. What's fascinating to me is the question he's trying to answer is, why don't men go to church? And so I'm trying to really. No, I'm lying. I ain't even going to do it. I'm not trying to engage. I'm just trying to hear what this man got to say. And I want to hear what the friends' responses are. And y'all should go over and subscribe to her piece and really, I don't know, engage in intellectual rigor with him. Learn some things.
At Cal Berkeley. And so what I realized is that the same way.
Hafiz said the church have too much DEI. Hafiz said the church has too many DEI programs. Hafiz said the church has too many DEI programs and he's not here for it. Come through, Hafiz. Let them know.
The culture lacks that powerful fatherly love. The church lacks it as well. And you have all these pastors who Pastor Mark calls them evangelifish, men with no backbone or spine, who literally in the pursuit of making everyone feel welcome and accepted have denied welcoming and accepting the main person who the church is for, which is Jesus. And so to me, I see that as one of the problems where so many men want nothing to do with that.
Was that a question? After he goes on this dusty diatribe, after he does this soliloquy without any attachment to anything, really, he then puts them on the screen, and I'm pretty sure they're like, sure, Hafiz. Yay, we agree. we agree, Hafiz. Let's hear. Oh my God. Period. Let's hear what they have to say.
Oh man, yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head, Hafiz. It's just this idea.
Sir, why are you like? That's his business partner, right? Why are you lying to him? You hit the nail on the head, girl. He didn't even have a hammer. He wasn't at the correct. He was not even at the correct construction site to hit the nail. Timothy, how did he describe the reason men don't want to be in church? He said that they don't have enough fatherly love, and because the church has too much DEI, men don't want to go. So that's what I heard.
idea there's not a comfortability from most pastors to be able to call out behavior that is clearly wrong. And we've kind of talked about this before, but
my bad, Joe. Joe, were you the person?
How you gonna interrupt this man after you went on that long soliloquy? See, here's the thing. So when you have a show and you get someone who is more articulate, I am so sorry, it is what it is, who is better able to, like, I don't know what this man sound like, but thus far, it felt like he was gonna say pastors aren't able to drag women. I don't know. That's what I'm gonna assume. But he was being very clear in his thoughts before he could finish. Hafiz interrupted after Hafiz went on a dusty diatribe. And here's the thing, when you're not really good at, like, talking, you can bring people who are better at talking to your show and just give them the floor. Hafiz is trying to be the main character here, and, like, he just isn't. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he just isn't.
Send me the stripper pastor video. Was that you?
yeah.
Or the porn star pastor?
Wait, what?
Yeah. So there's a couple, basically, a woman who's like an active porn star, and
Active?
and she's a pastor.
Wow.
Yeah. And she's creating a culture, and basically the idea is Jesus loves everyone. You can come as you are. So come to my church. So,
Okay, I think people miss that whole, like, the come as you are part. Yes, come as you are, but, like, you can't, like, man.
It would have been a bar. Oh my God, that would have been such a bar if he had said, come as you are, but don't stay as you are. Right? Like, that would have been a bar. I would have, if he had said that, I would have been like, you know what? You ate that. You definitely ate that. But he didn't. He didn't. And this is annoying me. This is annoying me because y'all are missing opportunities for y'all's catchphrase and to sell at the Standard. I would have liked that. To also pretend like a porn star being the pastor is like a regular occurrence and not a one-off is actually diabolical. But, like, I'm not here to debate them. I'm just here to listen and learn about why men don't go to the church. The Black church is lacking in men. Other churches have plenty of genuine men involved in the church. Yeah. And the leaders of most of these churches are men, right?
If you just read the Bible, because clearly they must not be reading the Bible. If you read the Bible, Jesus never said, okay, your sins are forgiven. Every time he said your sins are forgiven and he healed somebody, he said, go and sin no more, right? So yes, he healed them. Yes, he forgave them. But then there was a level of, okay, now you have to go and live out this, right?
All right, y'all gonna hate me. Y'all really gonna hate me, but I don't really hate the one in the middle. I've seen the one in the middle do a political debate with them, and I actually liked him more than everyone else. I don't know the one on the far. Is it my right or your right? I don't know. On my side, he's the far right, but I don't know him, so we'll see what he comes with. The one in the middle, I don't dislike. Him and Hafiz might have, and me might have, like, our speech impediment. We might be the speech impediment queen. So me, my accent, them with, like, a heavy tongue. I don't know, but I'm here for him. No, you said he didn't stand on his. All right, maybe I said that then.
Live out your salvation, right? So it's not just this one moment and it's like, oh, come as I am. Yes, everybody, because we're all sin and flawed human beings. We all fall short of the glory. So yes, we do come as we are. However, our response to that love, like you said, is repentance. If that's not your response to say, God, I want to.
no.
Because when you really start maturing, you understand all those sins, right? All those things that you're doing, right? Is keeping you from intimacy with God. And you get to the point where it's like, nah, I don't want nothing that's going to hinder my relationship with you. That's like me saying, hey, I got a wife, but I'm keep messing around going strip clubs and stuff, but I still love my wife. That is literally hindering your relationship with your wife. That don't even make sense, right? But people just like you said, man, they just like, oh, let me just, oh man, that's crazy to me. That is wild.
I think it just goes back to there is a fear of giving messages that aren't comforting to people's ears. And especially so, again, because I think as long as you have pastors that are heavily tied to the tithe and offering of women, financially, I think they're so connected to that offering that it's hard for them to preach a message that may hinder or cause people to leave the church. Yeah. So you have you have this high number of women in your church, and if you make them mad, you risk, right, potentially the church going bankrupt or you not having any food, or money to.
All right, so women are providing for these pastors in the church, is what he said. I know that's not what he meant to say, but so women are the providers. I actually don't disagree with this. I don't know what the message is that he wants to change, but I will concede, both men, by the way, who just spoke, not Hafiz, both the other men, I don't disagree with what they've said. I don't fully know what Hafiz was talking about, so I don't know. I don't know how to engage with it. But the overarching principle, I think that men just don't want to go to church. I think that men want church to be more misogynistic in order to go, right? And I don't know that they would go even still. I think the domain of self-improvement in the Black community is in the realm of the feminine. And so women spend a lot of time and money on improving, at least theoretically, if not even if not in real life. But I don't know that Black men care to be like Christians. I mean, to the extent they can use it to manipulate women, then period. But I don't know that I buy the argument that men want to go, but it's too women led. No.
To feed and clothe your family. So I think because there's such an intimate connection there, it makes it much harder to give an unfiltered message that really needs to be had because they're having to kind of step on eggshells, right? Versus back in the day, they're just gonna tell it how it is. Especially because if everybody's broke, nobody cares. Right. It's only when you start getting, more everyone relatively to you, right, starts getting more income that you start becoming more aware of oh, wow, this is what I don't have. This is what I need. So I think to me, that's what creates these big problems where people just can't, our pastors a lot of times don't feel they have the agency to really be as honest as they want to be. And unless you're starting the culture off of your church with radical honesty, and like I said, the only pastor I can think of that I've seen.
Radical honesty, by the way, for them is dragging women, mind you, because I don't think these men want to be, if these pastors were to be honest, I think everyone would feel shame. I think everyone sitting in the church would be ashamed. If let me go preach. Let me give y'all radical honesty. I'm gonna come back. We're gonna come back to this. We're gonna come back to this idea of radical honesty, because if men are asking for radical honesty, let's do it. Black men do not care. I always tell all of my Christian girlfriends they would have an easier time finding a Christian partner who's not Black. They take the faith more seriously. I don't think that these men actually care. I agree. I don't think they care either. Meanwhile, Jamal Bryant out here running through the congregation are the ones stealing from the church. Some also churches treat pastors like divine beings. And we're not even going to talk about the high level of abuse for children. Because they like to just go to the Catholic Church on that, but that's not only where it's happening. But another conversation for another time. Because when you're talking about why men don't want to go to the church, maybe some of it has to do with abuse too.
In recent time, that's really like that, and I kind of talked with you a little bit about this. Is probably Philip Mitchell.
Yeah.
Right. You know, but also, you know, like, again, it makes sense because, again, anybody that's coming to church with butters on, they're like smacking you with the Bible, right? Like they gonna give it to you straight. But I just think there's not enough of that.
Wait, you want people to smack people with the Bible? Like, I slightly get what they're saying. The masculine energy is more aggressive, right, in their mind. And so they don't feel that aggression in the church, and men need that aggression. You remember that camp where men spent thousands of dollars to be yelled at? Like, it was a very homosocial experiment. But straight men paid a ton of money to have other men yell at them and like treat them poorly, hit them. And I feel like that's what they want in the church. And look, if y'all are paying, I could create this church. I can dig into this masculine bag, and this is wild. So love is kind, love is gentle, love is this, love is that. She doesn't care nothing about none of that. Got it.
Yeah, I love what Chris King said, because the biblical message is, yes, come as you are, but don't stay as you are, and definitely don't leave as you are.
Okay, period, Hafiz. Hafiz gave the bar that I was asking for.
Right? Like that, I love what Pastor Matt Chandler would always say. He said, it's okay not to be okay, but it's not okay to stay there. And so it's fascinating because I'm gonna make two arguments of kind of proving my point. So,
all right, Hafiz, let someone else talk. I'm okay with this conversation. I'm okay as a Christian. I'm okay with this discourse. I'm very much okay with this discourse. I don't think Hafiz should be leading this conversation. I think we can cut Hafiz out and have these two men go back and forth and like talk. I disagree with them about why men aren't going, but Hafiz don't have the range, unfortunately. I think he thinks he does, but he really don't. Like, and I feel like as friends, you need to tell your friend when they're out of their, like, I think you should talk to your friends. Church of Holy Dominatrix for the submen, period. You're out of pocket. Brandon, you're out of pocket.
one time I was at this evangelical fish church, and the pastor was preaching the sermon about the woman caught in adultery, right? Okay. And you know me, I like a little fire and brimstone in my sermon. But you know what's crazy? I went to a church that had too much fire and brimstone. So if I'm telling you the church had too much, it was a problem. That's a different story for a different day. So I like a little fire. I like to feel a little shame, right? I like the healthy shame, at least.
All right. So my idea for a men's church isn't bad. They like the shame. They want to be shamed. They want to be dragged. They want their look. Yeah, I might start a church for men.
Right? I want some fire and brimstone in my sermon. So I'm like, okay, you know, yes, Jesus loved her and she was caught in sin and she's not perfect. And we're all, oh, yeah, I like that. But give me the meat. Pause. No Diddy. Right?
Give me the meat is diabolical. Wait. Give me. Wait. Wait. Give me the meat of thy. Someone said he said that full-throatedly. Someone said, someone said he said that full-throatedly. Then he said, stop playing with me and give me the meat. That is wild. That is wild. If he's being a sub, was definitely on my bingo card. Give me the meat to climb that out of the home. Look at her face. Wait, let me go back. Absolutely happy. Absolutely. Say what's on your. Speak your truth. Speak your truth. Oh.
I like a little fire and brimstone.
Right.
This in my sermon, but know what's crazy? I went to a church that had too much fire and brimstone. So if I'm telling you the church had too much, it was a problem. That's a different story for a different day. So I like a little fire. I like to feel a little shame, right? I like the healthy shame, at least repent, right?
Convict.
I want some fire and brimstone in my sermon. So I'm like, okay, yes, Jesus loved her and she was caught in sin and she's not perfect and we're all, yeah, I like that, but give me the meat. Pause. No.
Yes, the clip then. I think I'm gonna clip that. That has to get clipped. I feel girl. Period. That has to get clipped. Several pimps have become pastors. Yes, a lot of pimps are pastors and drug dealers.
Right? And then all of a sudden, I'm waiting for the verse where he's literally gonna say to the woman, "Go and sin no more." And you know what happened, guys?
Never said it.
Never said it. I was officially done because, like Joe has said, there is this incentive structure where the sermons have now become this motivational speech. And during this motivational speech, you don't want to piss off the people in the attendance. And not only that, it's also fascinating when it comes to worship music. God, I love Hillsong. I love Bethel Church. I love Elevation Worship. I love House Fires. I love it all. Love it all. But one of the things that you realize is the difference between worship music today and that old school Mighty Fortress Is Our God is that all the songs today are just love songs. Going back to like these female rappers, it's all self-empowerment love songs. There's no lamentations. There's no songs of brokenness. Everything is about God washing his love over me and wrapping me in my arms and taking me to that secret place. All these weird songs that sometimes you're very uncomfortable singing. And so to me, I think that is why I'm always trying to bring awareness to this, because I want people to start seeing what I'm seeing and calling all these fake pastors out who are continuously just propping up these lies and this unhealthy environment that's pushing men further and further away from God.
Man, I think you hit it on the head, man. And honestly, man, it really.
After he said, give me the meat, to then follow up with, I think you hit it on the head without specifying what. Sorry, that ain't right. To be clear, let me be very clear. Thus far, middle guy is trying and doing something. The front porch gardener, thank you so much for being a member for 19 months. But you know what? I'm just gonna middle guy and lean face, the one that's leaning his face. I don't dislike them. They haven't said anything to me that is like off-putting. Are they slightly misogynistic? Probably. I don't know. But on their church thing, I don't dislike their critique of the church, but I don't think that's why men aren't going. I do generally take the critique, agree with it, but I don't think that's why men aren't going to church. We all need a little fire and brimstone, and everyone is asking for the meat. Period.
Breaks my heart, right? Because when you see people like soaking all that stuff in, and you realize, man, they're really doing you a disservice, and they're preparing you to get rocked, right? The enemy ain't about to hold punches back, right? So you getting trained in this kind of false sense of battle, right? Of, okay, come as me are, God loves me, X, Y, and Z. Yes, but you ain't getting no power, right? Three things that we have to grow in as believers, right? Godly character, godly wisdom, and godly power, right? If we're not growing in those areas, man, when the enemy comes, man, he gonna be tagging you, right? And then you're gonna be wondering, God, why is this happening to me? It's my Job season, this and this, and it's
Of these three men, how many of them do you still think? I believe most of them still sleeping around with women unless they're married, and even that is not stopping them, still lying. So, like, this holier than thou approach, I don't fully like. And whenever people talk about God and going to church and being better and sin no more, I like for them to lead with their own sin. And I don't like people, this is a truth for me. I hate people who are Christians who lead with them being perfect or don't lean with their own issues. I hate when Christians pretend to be holier than thou when you sin a lot more than a lot of the rest of the world. So I don't like that. I don't trust none of these men. If he's not married, he's sleeping around. If he's not married, he's sleeping around. He's married, but he was sleeping around before marriage. So I don't want to hear it.
like, no, you ain't learned how to fight because
Also, yes, you should go comment. Go watch the full. Um, I didn't say that. I did not say that. I said sleeping around. I intentionally did not add. I I didn't say all that. Um, Also, if you go there, please watch their video in full and then comment so that they can get into the YouTube algorithm. Don't just go and comment. Really engage with the material. So if you're going over there to comment, be respectful, be kind, give them a like, subscribe, and make sure the comment is thoughtful. Thank you.
you've been eating this cotton candy, right? You've still been on milk, right? That's when I love when Paul said, he said, by now you should surely be on meat, right? Because you still just getting feel good sermons, and it's not changing you. So there's gonna have to be a point, right, to where it's like, bro, you got to graduate from that.
Why are we helping them? Because it's the right thing to. Because we want black men to do well, and they are promoting church and stuff. I don't know. Penelope has been a member for 11 months. Thank you. We said we wanted black men to do better, so this is at least two black men doing better. I hope.
Now, to each his own. I think, some pastors, look, it seems like, I don't know, man, God tell them to do this or not. It seems like that's their niche, right? So they got this feel good motivational stuff. And look, I think for very baby Christians, maybe they need that to come into the faith sometimes. I don't know. I'm not, maybe they need that. But at a point, if you're not doing your part and diving into that word and reading and crying out to God, then you're going to graduate from that stage. You will, right? That's why certain pastors that I used to watch, when I was a baby Christian, I can't really watch no more, right? Because there's no conviction, right? They're not calling you up no more. So other pastors now, they're going to be like,
no, not them. I meant go to the 1%ers. Hafiz said he's successful. He makes $100,000 a week, and he's doing well financially and all of that. So I'm sending you to these men who are doing well, not broke, dusty men begging for your money. So please go to them. They said level up, level up, level up. Why do you keep saying no? Why y'all are not following the Hafiz program? Y'all not. They're essentially still looking for someone else to hold them accountable. Scarlet Letter and yes, yes, but I don't mind it because the pastor is supposed to be a leader. The pastor is supposed to be a leader, but I agree with you. This like wanting someone else to do their work for them seems weird, particularly if they are leaders. All right, y'all gonna stop drag. Y'all gonna need to stop dragging her face. We're being respectful. We're being.
And I love the way some of them do it now. They're gonna call it out in themselves, and it's gonna make you kind of look at yourself. You're gonna be like, dang, well, if he said, that's why I love Francis Chan. Francis Chan he gonna hit himself. You're gonna be like, dang, well, Francis, hold on, let me look at my life. Let me try to examine my life. I gotta switch this, I gotta change this, I gotta get better, I gotta get back focused on him. So I think a lot of times, man, we're those pastors or those environments are doing a very
By the way, I stopped at flagellation because in Jamaica when we say people laugh, so that's why I've learned not to tell y'all words that I don't say properly in American in English.
service for believers, because when it's time to fight, they're not going to have no weapons, they're not going to have no armor, they're not going to know what to do but to crime, right? And I think it all goes down to a lack of discipleship.
When I was doing some research, I think I found studies from Pew Research that showed 39% of church attendees are males.
Man.
And the biggest demographic that's void in the church is men between the ages of 18 to 35. And to me, what I realize is similar to what Chris is talking about, what men crave is a standard, no pun intended, or maybe it is. Men crave a standard and to greatness. And to me, it's like, there's a reason why if you go to a Beyonce concert, it's all women. If you're
all right. What do you mean all women? Ain't no all women at a Beyonce concert. Ain't
speaking simply to just feelings and no standards, no greatness, no excellence, you're not going to motivate, you're not going to inspire men. And so to me, the part that just makes me so mad is, why can I see this? Why can Chris see this? Why can Joe see this? Why don't these other pastors see it? Why don't these other pastors look at it and look up the data? Under the age of 35, there's more males than females in America. I'm pretty sure under the age of 40, that's the case as well. And
Brianna, this is actually like, why don't you promote? You said there are a couple of men who do this. Are men going to that church? Why not promote that church? Why not create your own church? Like, I don't understand. Like, Hafiz, let's be clear. This content creation thing is not working right now for you. I hope one day you will get back to your former glory. As of now, like, it's a no. Maybe you can become a preacher. No, obviously you're gonna have to get the gift of gab. I don't know if you buy that, practice it, pray for it. I actually don't know. Have no clue how you gonna get it. But you need it, and then wait. No, I'm just saying maybe he's calling us to preach. Maybe he's calling us to preach and spit on the people in the front row. I don't know. But I think that he should probably take this seriously. I think that he should probably take his calling seriously if he cares about men. and he wants to like speak truth to men, maybe actually start a church. It's not like you need to like actually like believe what you're talking about. So like you have a wife, I think. So start your church and lead these men to the kingdom glory. I like I want more from you. And not from, I want more for you. But you have to want more for yourself. I have never yelled at a girl in my life. When my mother yells at me, it's because she loves me. Um, oh, thank you so much.
Why is it if there's more men under the age of 40 than women? Church's lowest demographic is men under 40. And so to me, that's the area where I'm just like, I do the videos with, I'm passionate about. I'm like, yo, someone got to wake these pastors up. Someone got to say, yo, if you're not going to be helping bring in more men here, if you keep on doing those wishy-washy, crappy, terrible sermons where you're just literally indulging in sin, because it just blows my mind. And there's so many examples of you have whole.
So one of the things that I like about like really smart people, there is these moments in conversation where like you just shut off slightly and then you go on a rant and it's almost like a cathartic release, but that which you are thinking and feeling comes flowing out sort of effortlessly. It is akin to stream of consciousness writing, but it comes out very clear, very concise, and there is a kind of power behind your voice. There's charisma there, but there's clarity, most importantly. And the people, the listener, feels what you're saying, and it creates this feeling of catharsis for it's a cathartic release, not just for yourself, but for the audience listening, because you're speaking to something very specific, almost spiritual, right? Maybe even spiritual. I think Hafiz tries to like emulate that and like recreate it. And he goes off on these tangents where he thinks that he's just spitting, but he's like actually spitting. Like he's not speaking. Like it's okay. I think that you should not try to emulate great speakers anymore. I think you need to become a good speaker first. And I think my consistent problem with Hafiz is the need to act, right? The need to recreate speeches and emotion that he sees without himself feeling them. And so, like, calm down, speak normally. And over time, hopefully, you will become the person who can evoke the kind of emotion you want to evoke in other people based on the way that you speak. You can't just skip the line and get to the part where you're giving these really empowering speeches. You kind of don't have it. And when you are working with a speech impediment, be that a lisp or an accent or a stutter, right? It takes a while to like even grasp the language enough to get to that point where you can emotionally connect with your words to people. You don't have it yet. It is that simple. And if you hear this and your friends hear this and y'all sit around and drag me, they're lying to you. Your friends know this. Both of those men who are looking at you and talking to you have done a lot of work, even the one in the middle, have done a lot of work in perfecting, though they are not perfect, their ability to communicate effectively using their words. And because they can do it, they know that you can't. They are very much aware of your limitations as a communicator. And I do hope, as your friend, that they sit you down and tell you you do need to do some work. As a communicator, you're not good. Like, it's not good. It is not. And that's wild. Maybe you need to write out your thoughts. And I'm doing this because I want to help, actually. I want you to be a better person. I feel we need more meat. Bring in the men.
Old denominations that are abominations, where they literally have pastors who are supposed to be the leaders of the church who are practicing homosexuality. And then they're literally trying to argue why it's okay. It's like, no, men like standards.
Yeah.
Everyone likes what is true, and the church has to lead on the truth. Half the truth is not the truth. It's just as much the lie. That's what the enemy did, right? And so I don't know, to me, that just pisses me off. It's like, why is no one else talking about this?
They are, and you don't have to go to a church where homosexuality is okay. You can go to a church where it's not. You can make a church and preach against homosexuality if you want. I don't know why homosexuality is at the forefront of your mind and not cheating, not sleeping with people. Like, I don't, it is what it is. Go do you, go zip it and zoo it and get all the meat you want in other churches. But it feels weird. This feels toxic.
Because I think this becomes a multi-layered issue. And I think it goes back to what we were talking about earlier with this idea of culture. So you might ask yourself where it's like, okay, well, why aren't these men speaking up? Why aren't they feeling emboldened to stand for truth? Why are they just sitting there and allowing things that they know are wrong to be fed to them? Well, okay, we have to go back to what's the culture that those men were taught in their households?
Yeah.
So blame the mother. Got it. Blame the mother. Homosexuality is the problem, and the mother is the reason why these men like homosexuality. Period. That's what he got to say. Why you got Jordan's son preaching at us? Jordan's son. Commercial break. All we have learned is that he likes the meat and appreciates shame. Holy BDSM camp, period. Not mama made me gay. Go, period. All right. So with that very short, concise, less than an hour commercial, let's actually get into what we wanted to talk about. Thank you, Hafiz, for providing release in a way from the content that we were going to talk about today. So I appreciate that. Keep them coming. I will keep promoting your channel because as someone who believes in the dignity and power of Black men to one day reach our place as kings, I will keep promoting your channel. That's that on that. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, Hafiz. And for everyone else, let's get into the content for today. All right. So Keita Rose has been dragging people left and right online, and I've been just here eating my popcorn watching, but I didn't want to do video on it because whatever. However, I realized there were a lot of people saying that she's crashing out and she's this and she's terrible. I hate all of that. All of that discourse is annoying to me. Let this woman do what she needs to do to get the coins that she deserves. If she's wrong, I am sure the conversation people will drag her into court. If you all don't know what's happening, don't worry. She did an interview with some guy, Mr. J Hill. I don't know. J Hill something. Let me show y'all the setup. I was already annoyed when I saw the background. When Nipsey Hussle can stay, but I was like, wait. Wait, what is going on in this back? I saw this background and I thought to myself, maybe I'm not gonna like this. So instead of watching it by myself, I decided that you all will come into this mess with me. I haven't seen this yet. They dropped it into the Discord this morning, and I decided that we gonna watch it together after I came back from the gym. So grab your coffee, water, tea, and let's see if they break this down for us. Let's go. And I might drop the link. We can come up. This is supposed to be a members only live, but it might stay open if everything goes well. But if it's boring and useless, then no.
Believing, not believing you. And so I wanted to do this because I want you to see what everyone has to go through, right? You got in a situation where you call out abuse, you got the people that love your abuser, they're hurt. You got the people that was abused by the abuser. Now you're opening another, now you're making them remember. And
also should know, I don't know her. I have no opinion of her. Keita Rose was on a program called Tonight's Conversation. This was it is a YouTube channel, like they not YouTube, but it's like similar to a podcast, but they're on the road. And so they go to different cities and they have people come in, including guests. She's a recurring guest on the show, and they talk about relationship and they give advice. And there's a very specific Christian bend to it. And so it's like going to church. They go to these events and there's a panel on stage having a conversation, and the leader, who she calls Mojo Jojo, and that's what we're going to call this man. And he is like in charge of everything. He's the person behind, the producer, the funder, whatever. She apparently, allegedly, signs on. She's not getting paid. She's paying for people to travel with her, and this guy is cheating on his girlfriend, and there's a lot of toxicity happening behind the scenes. When Keita decided to leave the conversation, in her word, she came out and she was exposing what is happening and what happened to her behind the scenes. It is funny. Her lives are interesting. She's engaging, and I find her to be hilarious, right? However, I don't know what the truth is, but I will say I believe her. There were recordings leaked of a negotiation happening between her and Mojo Jojo and their attorneys. And in that conversation, it seems like she was very right. It seems like he was paying. No, I'm not saying his name. I'm not saying. I'm going to call him Anecdotes. I'm going to call him Beef Anecdotes. I'm going to call him Similes. I'm going to call him Simile. So Simile is the guy over everything. Anyway, hopefully that is enough background for you all to be situated. And as you guys get situated, we're going to listen and play.
and relive their trauma, their hurt, right? Thank you. Oh, is this bounty? This is nice. They're hurt. Everybody is hurt. Hurt people hurt people.
Everybody, first and foremost, I want to say thank you to all my new and returning viewers of the J Hill podcast. But right now, this episode is sponsored by Tax Time Tony. Listen, it's officially tax season, and I know you ain't filed your taxes. Come on, what you waiting on? You waiting on Uncle Sam to run up in your pockets and take everything you worked hard for? You don't want to do that. All you got to do is holler at my guy, Tax Time Tony. Go to www.taxtimetony.com. He can get you on his books so you can file your taxes. Listen, he's maximizing refunds by minimizing the amount of taxes you got to pay. You don't want to wait, and he's giving you $1 million in audit protection. Go to www.taxtimetony.com right now so you can get on his books and you can file your taxes. And he in his 4th year of business. And if you don't know something about businesses, most of them fail with it.
I am not endorsing this promo. I have. Wait, most businesses fail within 5 years. So let me hear. Actually, I'm very curious to what he. I'm very curious to what he said. Most businesses fail within what?
In 3 years. Why? Because their taxes ain't straight. So listen, if you either a 9 to 5 or you got your
Okay, there's also a report that says I completely forgot this too. A lot of business fail within 3 years, where 5 is the peak, so it's fine.
Own business, you want to holler at my guy Tax Time Tony. Again, that's www.taxtimetony.com. Make sure you holler at him. Let him know J Hill sent you. Let's get into this episode. You all right?
Yeah, I feel good.
I actually had a capacity to
Wait.
have a conversation. He was like,
Yeah, no, I have a capacity. I'm just used to action. No one's gonna do it.
"Oh,
It's okay.
you want to do that? We
no,
can do
well,
that.
no, we already started.
Hey, if you want to do that,
But
we can
I just
do that.
I wanted to add context on to why I was.
All right, no, I'm not going to give him that. The higher end is what you would use. Most businesses fail within 5 years, and definitely within the higher end 10 years. I think that is important to note. And so pointing out someone has been in business for 4 years does not actually meet the threshold that he's using to make the claim that he's attempting to make. So I don't think I should let that go. I want to let it go because, like, it doesn't matter. I'm not promoting it. If you go to Tax Time Tony and get, if you go there, you go there on your own accord. I'm not promoting it.
We can
Off
do that.
track.
Let's do it. Action. Yo, what's poppin', everybody? It's your boy, Mr. J Hill Podcast. We are in the building. I do have a special guest here. Yo, before I say her name, I remember I was watching her content. What'd you say? You said something? I was watching her. Oh, before we even get to the interview, yo, make sure.
Yeah. When it's live, wait, y'all, this is a video. So y'all tell me y'all couldn't edit it. Y'all telling me y'all couldn't. Yeah. Oh, God, why did she choose? Okay, girl, period.
Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment on the YouTube. We're trying to grow. We're almost at 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. So make sure you hit the subscribe button right now. You make sure you like the video. Make sure you comment on the video. Then make sure you share it. Then comment and say you shared it. Miss Keita Rose is in the building.
It's a lot of instructions.
Yeah, it is. But they follow because they've been following the journey. They see
I love that.
So, like I was saying, before I invited you on the show, or before, to be honest, right, and be
Yeah.
completely transparent.
Let's do it.
Before I got into, like, I guess the mess, I was looking at your content before I really understood what was going on. I'm like, yo, her delivery is A1.
Thank you.
Like you're truly entertaining.
Thank you.
And that's why when you came, I'm like, wait, do you have the capacity to have a
deeper conversation?
A deeper conversation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, is this deeper conversation gonna happen with him? Is this deeper conversation? Yeah, I'm a skeptic. I don't like this. I actually do like her voice. I don't know what about her voice. Don't ask me. I like raspy voices for some reason.
How do you feel?
I feel I could be better. I could be better. I feel tired, I would say. Drained. I'm bipolar, so I had a manic episode for maybe like a week. And when you're manic, you come down. So then you're like manic depressive, you'll be depressed, right? And depression looks different for everybody. Me, I'm just gonna have low energy. So I don't know. I kind of like joke around and add a little comedy to my life, because no matter what you are going through, right, you always need to see the joy out of it. You have to enjoy the process. The process is going to be hard and strenuous, but you need to try to enjoy it. So,
and is that a coping mechanism as well, like using the laughs? I
think so. At first I'm like, oh, I'm just funny, but I think I cope with comedy. I think the saying you have to laugh to keep from crying is a real thing.
It's funny because I was talking to somebody and like as I start to like newly date, I'll see that like it'd be hard for people to have like serious conversations without throwing jokes in there.
Yeah.
And even my friends, like my homeboys though, I had to tell them like, yo, I'm so sorry. Can we turn the lights on though right here?
This is insane. This is actually insane. Can this man hold his focus for like 2 minutes? Can this man hold his focus for like 2 seconds. This woman just told you in the span of a couple seconds, she has bipolar, and she have manic episodes. She gets depressed, and she copes with it with jokes, whatever, humor. It goes back to you, and you're like connecting, and in the middle of like whatever deep connection you thought you were making, you're like, wait, my line. The fact that we're talking about the interviewer and not the substance of what is happening is actually diabolical. I think that's diabolical. I think that's insane.
I had to tell my homeboy. You got it? You know how to do it? You need my help? We won't just keep going, but yeah, just my bad. You good?
I'm like all in my nose.
I need a second. I needed something strong. I needed something strong. I needed something stronger. I needed like 4 more shots. We ain't gonna do it. We're not gonna get through this today.
I was making sure.
You should be able to just plug it in. Or you can try to turn it on. No, my bad. I'm super
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, I just.
Did you want to?
What is that? Toast to us a glass of soda?
You have a shot. Did you want to take your shot while I sip my drink?
You ain't even put a drink in there.
Yes, I did.
You put like a little bit Coca-Cola.
I'm not a drinker. Like I think I'm childish because it's still nasty to me.
Right the drink,
alcohol.
Y'all, maybe this was live. I'm gonna assume this does not look like a live stream, but this had to have been live. There is no way this was not live. This was recorded and not edited. I'm so sorry. As someone who makes content online, I'm very annoyed at whatever is happening here. I will give an excuse if it was, oh.
Alcohol's like nasty to me.
I mean, it's not supposed to be good.
But some people are like, oh, I love it. I love the taste of it.
Yeah, there's nothing there, so I don't know if this was a premiere. I don't know if this is a premiere or if it was live. I'm just going to go ahead and assume it was live. Oh, thank you. The sponsor was edited in. Or it could have been a video they played in the big. I am not quite sure if this was live or edited. Let me just say that. But if this was edited and wasn't alive, like you need to unplug the microphone in my Jesse Woo's voice.
They alcoholics.
Exactly. There's a lot of people that say that.
Nah, they alcoholics.
I need to mix it with a little something, add a little splash of crayon, a little pineapple, put a little cherry in it.
Sugar, though.
Are you drinking? What are you drinking for?
To get lit, not fat.
Oh, hey, I'm not here for that. Hell no. I'm not here for that. Fuck no. But you're right. You're
Demas, can you rewind a little to where he got distracted? I think the update doesn't show a comment until you play. All right, let me go back. All the way back. Let's do this over.
Why I was
We can
off
do that.
track.
Let's do it. Action. Yo, what's poppin', everybody? It's your boy, Mr. J Hill. J Hill Podcast. We are in the building. I do have a special guest here. Yo, before I say her name, I remember I was watching her content. What'd you say? You said something? I was watching her. Oh, before we even get to the interview, yo, make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment on the YouTube. We're trying to grow. We're almost at 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. So make sure you hit the subscribe button right now. You make sure you like the video. Make sure you comment on the video. Then make sure you share it. Then comment and say you shared it. Miss Keita Rose is in the building.
It's a lot of instructions.
Yeah, it is. But they follow because they've been following the journey. They
I
see
love
it.
that.
So, like I was saying, before I invited you on the show, or before, to be honest, right, be
Yeah.
completely transparent.
Let's do it.
Before I got into like, I guess the mess, I was looking at your content before I really understood what was going on. Like, yo, her delivery is A1.
Thank you.
Like you're truly entertaining.
Thank you.
And that's why when you came, I'm like, wait, do you have the capacity to have
A deeper conversation?
A deeper conversation?
Absolutely.
How do you feel?
I feel I could be better. I could be better. I feel tired, I would say. Drained. I'm bipolar, so I had a manic episode for maybe like a week. And when you're manic, you come down. So then you're like manic depressive, you'll be depressed, right? And depression looks different for everybody. Me, I'm just gonna have low energy. So I don't know, I kind of like joke around and add a little comedy to my life, because no matter what you are going through, right, you always need to see the joy out of it. You have to enjoy the process. The process is gonna be hard and strenuous, but you need to try to enjoy it. So
And is that a coping mechanism as well? Like using the laughs?
I think so. You know, at first I'm like, oh, you know, I'm just funny, but I think I cope with comedy. I think the saying you have to laugh to keep from crying is a real thing.
You know, it's funny because I was talking to somebody, like as I start to like newly date, I'll see that like it'd be hard for people to have like serious conversations without throwing jokes in there.
Yeah.
And even my friends, like my homeboys though, I had to tell them like, yo, I'm so sorry. Can we turn the lights on though right here? I had to tell my homeboy, you got it? You know how to do it? You need my help? We won't just keep going, but yeah, just my bad. You good?
I'm like all in my nose. I was making sure.
I'm sure she thought this was not going to be a part of the interview. Like, I'm sure she thought this must be, like, how did you just upload this?
You should be able to just plug it in. Or you can try to turn it on. No, my bad. I'm super
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, I just.
Did you want to?
What is that? Toast us a glass of soda?
You have a shot. Did you want to take your shot while I sip my drink?
You didn't even put a drink in there.
Yes, I did.
You put like a little bit. Coca-Cola?
I'm not a drinker. Like I think I'm childish because it's still nasty to me.
The drink?
Alcohol's like nasty to me.
I mean, it's not supposed to be good.
But some people are like, oh, I love it. I love the taste of it.
They alcoholics.
Exactly. There's a lot of people that say that.
Nah, they alcoholics.
I need to mix it with a little something, add a little splash of crayon, a little pineapple, put a little
It's too much
cherry in
sugar
it.
though.
Are you drinking? What are you drinking for?
To get lit, not fat.
Oh, hey, that's hey. I'm not here for that. Hell no. I'm not here for that. Fuck no. But you're right. You're fucking right. And you know what's crazy? So one day, okay, I'm always on my health shit, right? Trying to be. This is new for me, right? But I started to drink like tequila and soda, club soda.
Yeah, club soda, yep. That's what I was doing before.
What is it?
Club soda.
No, but what is it? The name of it? Is it Topo Chico?
I have no clue.
You don't know what I'm talking about?
No. I know club soda though.
Yeah,
I don't know
it's club soda.
Yeah, I don't know the brand.
It's just nasty.
He's not up and coming. He's at 100,000 subscribers. This man is deep in the game. This man is deep in the game.
It's like soda without the sugar, I guess.
Yeah.
Syrup.
It's nasty.
Dye number 7, cancer. You need all of that shit. And you need it.
No.
That's what makes it tasty and delicious.
Listen, you just drink it straight, right? You know what I'm saying?
So what makes my drink bad compared to your drink?
First of all, it's gonna be technical. They both bad. I mean, gonna be real. They both bad. You drink alcohol. Alcohol is worse than fucking.
Because it's poison.
It's worse than crack.
Oh, I wouldn't. Come on, hey. No.
No. See, my mom's did crack.
Okay.
And heroin. And dope.
All right.
So, and I don't think I've ever seen her and have a close friend whose mother was alcoholic. Really? I've never seen my moms do some of the things I've seen his moms do under the influence of her drug.
Okay, so this is what I want you to.
Alcohol is worse than crack. And the reason you were giving is that your mom did crack and your friend's mom was an alcoholic. And in that scenario, the friend mother who did alcohol, who is an alcoholic, did worse things than your mother who did crack. And therefore, you know that alcohol is worse than crack. Cocaine. Is that your final answer? Is that is that your is that unplug the microphones? Well, Jesse will say unplug the unplug the microphones. Absolutely. No, not doing it. Like,
I just want to give you a different perspective.
Go ahead.
Everybody has different ways of dealing with their life, and everybody's experiences are different, right? And so there's people that just sober. With me being sober and them being sober, I wouldn't do half the shit they did, and they wouldn't do anything that I do, and that's just like no drug. So I'm just saying, like, to be like, bro, alcoholics do. I get what, maybe I haven't been around it enough because, like you said, you might be having a close. No, I'm talking about like other drugs. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like,
okay, girl, you're too smart for this. I am so sorry. I am so sorry, young lady. You're way too smart for this. The fact that you have to explain to him that because someone on crack does something less severe than someone you know who is an alcoholic does not mean crack is less dangerous or, well, yeah, less dangerous than alcohol. Like, I don't think you should have to explain this. And you are. I feel like at this point you just let him have it and let it go. just let him have it. There's no reason to fight him on it.
Like, I don't know what the name of it is, but like I would call it like drug bougie. If I had a name, if I could make a name for it, I don't know what the name is. Like, drugs are bad. Right. We were taught that in school. DARE program. Don't do it. But for those of us who said fuck all that, right? I chose my drug of choice would be marijuana. Right. So I'm not a drinker. I want to do, I want to smoke. Yeah. I think my drug
is better than my drug, but I understand it. I get that. I think we all.
And that's what you just said. I think we all say alcohol is worse than crack, bro.
I drink alcohol. Listen, so what I will say, the only thing I will say, I feel like it might be easier to get off of alcohol because, again, you gotta understand, I've lived through this. I come from the projects of Baltimore, Maryland. Okay. Homes project. I understand. So I've seen my moms be ill off of dope, like right. So, but what I will say, what I'm saying is worse. Even me, outside of everybody else, I've got drunk before. Yeah. I've blacked out before, and I've woken up not remembering the next day. Okay. I don't think I've ever seen my mother like black out. Like maybe I've seen her overdose before. Right. Okay. And thank God she's still here. Right. But to like black out on her drug, I've never seen.
Would you say that some?
This is insane. Also, why are we having this conversation? Like, why? Keita Rose, the truth about her fallout with Mojo Jojo, toxic work culture, and reclaiming her voice. I am so sorry. How did we get here? And how are you like? You are wrong, sir. It is that simple. After you figure out you're wrong, let's move on.
Some drugs make you just more productive?
I don't know. I'm not talking. So I only
have you ever done drugs?
Yeah, I've smoked weed. I've done shrooms.
Oh, see, you're too much. That's too much.
Oh,
so that's what I'm saying.
So you're judging me.
I'm not judging you. But for me, if it's my personal, I just think that's too much.
Shrooms?
You know why? So the people that I know that do shrooms told me that I do not need to be on shrooms because I'm probably gonna have a bad trip because of how my brain works.
You might got to a little bit.
Maybe it's me being bipolar.
But not so shrooms.
I would absolutely love to interview her, but the reason there are some people that I don't reach out to. The reason I haven't reached out to her is I don't think I can add anything more to her discourse. And I don't fully know what she's doing, but I would love to talk to her, but I think that is just like content based, and I generally want to like engage in a helpful way. But I would love to talk to her, just generally.
I've heard again. I only did it like
I don't need to be seeing shit because I like to defend myself.
But the times I took shrooms, it was a really good time.
Okay.
They say like it depends on your mood.
It does.
So like I guess the 2 times I did.
But if you're a naturally happy person,
wow,
that's nice.
Yes.
If you're a naturally happy person, then you're probably gonna have. But if you have ups and downs,
that's what we all do though.
No, well, I'm bipolar. Are you bipolar?
I don't know. I never got checked.
Then we'll just say no.
Until... say, I'm a Gemini, so.
But see, no, come on, and that's what.
Are you bipolar? I'm a Gemini, so. Is this the deep conversation? Is it?
I'm here for it. Fuck that. No.
Let me explain something. When I decided I was going to watch this, I didn't realize I would be talking about the interviewer. I thought we would be talking about Mojo Jojo. That's what I thought. So let's continue.
And that's why I'm here.
I'm
Absolutely not.
joking. A lot of people say I was bipolar, but so
Okay.
really, honestly though,
Mhm.
how do it look? It look good still? My brother
Okay.
was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and
Okay.
schizophrenia.
All right.
So like I've seen it. I understand the disorder.
No, you understand bipolar and schizophrenia in your brother that you lived life with, right? But to know about a disorder, I mean, that would take years. I'm not saying.
Oh my God, she's so good. Oh my God, she's so good. And she's so professional too. I like her now. I never disliked her, I just didn't have an opinion of her. But the reframing, the checking, and like the investigation of ideas, like she's actually really quick. Oh, period, girl, you better come through. Oh, she did that. She ate that. She ate that. Because even for me, I would have just ignored him. To be fair, most of what I would have done would be ignoring him. There are certain times in conversation where I'm just not going to do it. At some point, I'm like, all right, I see you over there, I'm over here. We are not better or worse than each other. We're different from, and that's fine with me. Stay in your bubble and I'll stay in mine. True. Yeah, because what happens when you say, I know the disorder, is you make yourself an authority, right? By one experience, right? And that you're not. And so she sets the groundwork. She sets it up where you don't get to invalidate her based on your experience with your brother, who probably have a different kind of engagement with whatever he was going through than her.
People go to school and get degrees and study and research and look at studies and talk to people and make, do clinicals and all this stuff. So I think that we need to deep dive more into what disorders are. I'm not saying here, I'm saying just as a people. Like what is a narcissist? What is bipolar? What are these things and what does it mean? And what are some of the behaviors and how can you cope with loving somebody who might be going through this? Because I get kind of triggered a little when people are like, oh yeah, I just fuck shit up, girl, I'm bipolar. Oh, I don't do that and I'm bipolar. So what do you mean? Like mean what you say when we're talking about these things, right? Because it's important. And I tell my son that. My son one day was like, oh my God, I'm so depressed. And I was like, what are you depressed about? You're depressed? And he's like, oh my God, I couldn't download a game. It was something like that. And I said, well, I think you're sad. And I explained what sadness is, what depression is, the severities. I said, so after all that, do you still think that you're depressed? He said, oh no, I'm just down. I was just down about it. I'm okay. Because it's important. We need to identify our emotions so that we know how to navigate them in life.
So you think people, I guess, misuse
all the time
the diagnosis?
Yeah. And that not just bipolar, all of the diagnoses. Just because you don't get checked, just because you don't talk to anybody, just because you don't go to therapy, go to a psychiatrist, psychologist, don't mean that you're not sick. If we both had cancer, but I went and found out and you didn't, we both have cancer. Right? So a lot of people would rather not do that. And that's why there's such a stigma around mental health. I think because a lot of people would rather not get help, not figure out what's wrong, because then they'd actually have to do the work required. And so it's easy to just be like, oh, girl, you tripped out because you're bipolar. I'm cocky, I'm a narcissist. Like, no, it's deeper. It's way deeper than that.
When do you think you learned this actually and actually started to take that serious?
I feel like I was always, I think we all go to college just looking at different majors. I too wanted to study psychology and learn the mind and, different things like that. People, I think I took it serious my whole life because this has been my life. I've had a mental illness my whole life, right?
When did you learn that you had a mental illness?
I learned I was bipolar when I was 14 because I just had anger. I couldn't explain it. I was just angry. I didn't act out. I didn't bully. I didn't beat up people. I got into fights, but I was just angry. Everything was just negative. It was funny. I made my family laugh because we do like positive, we're out at the park eating and I'm going to say something negative about it. Like it's going to, I'm going to make a joke about it. So, it would be a funny thing, but I had like a dark cloud until I started to get into therapy. Cause my parents, they're military parents. So they really didn't want to sit down and talk too much. It was like, what's wrong with you? I'm sad. About what? I don't know. Okay, well, wash the dishes. What the fuck? Like, what are you talking about? You need to be able to express it. And so because they weren't able to express that, they sent me somewhere, not sent me, but they introduced me to a therapist, right? And then I was able to really like express with her and really get it. And then she was able to break it down to them. So then it really worked out. Our relationship was amazing.
It was funny. I was thinking about I was talking about therapy not too long ago.
Yeah.
And I was telling people how I think everybody should do therapy because it really helps you unlock another layer within inside yourself that you probably wouldn't even know. Right. And I think once you can unlock that, then you can become like your highest form of self. So no.
Yes. But a lot of people do not want to be the highest form of self. A lot of people don't want to be themselves. So to be a higher level of something you already hate is such a scary concept to some. But yeah.
I will give him the benefit of the dusty doubt, because I'm getting very irritated with his voice, and that's not a good way to like meaningfully engage with him. I don't think that's fair. So let me I'm gonna recenter. I'm gonna ignore everything that he's done up until now, and I'm gonna re-engage with him. I'm gonna give him another chance. So put that out of the window, whatever, whatever, whatever. All right, let's redo this. You know, when someone's breathing starts pissing you off, when someone's breathing starts pissing you off, you need to check that out. And like even hearing him interrupt her, ask her a question, just pissed me off. So let me let me stop and then continue. All right.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Why do you think that though? That people hate themselves?
Because things happen to people that make them hate themselves. If I hate, look, I'm an extremist, right? So I mean, when I say that, like I have extreme examples, but you know, just roll with me. Like the girl that's like fun and flirty and she wears the short shorts and she likes to party.
Mhm.
She may have gotten like sexually assaulted at one of the parties, and now she's now even more promiscuous. Now she's more sexually charged,
Mhm.
and she feels like she likes it because you get pleasure from it. You know, sex equals pleasure, right? You get pleasure, but deep down, and we don't ever have to go deep. A lot of people don't, but deep down, maybe you don't like certain things, certain sex acts, maybe you don't, maybe you just, this is what's familiar because this was what you were introduced to forcefully. So now you don't know what to do, right? You out there, you feel liberated, but are you really? Because some women have worked out, they love their body, they're sexually liberated, they love to flaunt it, but some people are deeply wounded. What happened to you? That whole phrase, like, who hurt you, is a real phrase. Who hurt you? Was it the man who did this? Was it your mother? Was it your father? Was it who hurt you? And then from there, we can figure out maybe why we do certain things, why we move certain ways, why we say certain things, because that's really what shaped us. Our childhood shaped us.
No, that's a fact, man. This interview just went so left.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. No,
What? What the? This interview is going so left. We. How much more useless can you? I just I don't understand. Honest to God, let me go down to see something. Oh, it was a premiere. It was a premiere. It was not a live, it was a premiere. It says that right here. Well,
it's good. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. I don't say that in a negative way. But now I'm interested because like you being on a platform giving advice, right? You talk a lot of relationship stuff.
Mhm.
And you know how they always say like check on your strong friend? That's the first thing I would think about. Because like I'm hearing you break these things down and I'm like, well, what about you? That's the first thing that comes to mind. Like, was it a time like did you hate yourself, or was it a time where like somebody hurt you and you had to find out, or are all these things that something that you figured out early and was able to get over, or was these some things that like you figured out but still was struggling through even in your adulthood?
No, I think we always figure things out, like even in different ways. Sometimes, I don't know if you're like spiritual or religious, but sometimes God will put us in situations to figure things out over and over again. It'll be the same situation, but with a different person in a different scenario, but it's the same shit.
Mhm.
I've always gone through things because I'm very trusting and loving. Did somebody hurt me and it made me want to, somebody hurt me and it made me angry at them. Like, I think a lot of people, I think maybe that's where you can kind of use your mental illness, to your advantage. With my bipolar, right? I feel everything very intensely, and I have extremes. So if I'm happy, I'm joyful. If I'm sad, I'm depressed. If I'm mad, I'm enraged. There's no like middle ground. Now, I can of course regulate it. I'm not out here just like going crazy, right? But I took that anger and I was mad at the person. You did this to me, so I fought back. I'm not a shit starter, but I'll finish it.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? So I always wanted to fight. I think that's how I've always been. This is wrong. You've done something wrong. You got me fucked up. So now let's find out. And that doesn't really look now when you say, did I ever hate myself? There were times, where of course I didn't like myself even in childhood, because when people see you reacting to things, you are the problem. I'm loud, I'm boisterous, I have a big personality. Maybe some people might call my personality polarizing, I guess, but I'm always going to look like the problem, especially if I'm fighting. So I think I would encourage people to actually, when you see something, right, a fight, a disagreement, anything, to look at both sides, because there's 3 sides, but look at both sides and try to think critically, because a lot of the times we're witnessing reactions to shit and you don't even know what sparked it. The root of a problem is the most important. If your tooth hurts, you can keep taking Advil over and over and over again, but unless you get that root work done, it's gonna hurt forever. You haven't healed. So
where did the fight come from?
Maybe my mental illness. Maybe my father, my mother being such fighters, being in the military, like everything was very like, we defend. Like, no, I mean, it wasn't defensive. It was a nice, loving household, but it was very strict. And who are you playing with? Like when we played, but when it's time to stop playing, stop playing.
No, I'm taking my time with the questions because, like I said,
and I hope I'm making sense.
No, it's fine. You're making sense for me. Again, when I say the interview went left in the best of ways, because this is like the purpose of my podcast, right? And I even explained it a little bit earlier, but even further than what I explained, is just understanding that we are so similar, even when we can't see it.
Okay.
Right. So like I'm listening to you. Your parents was in the military. You had both of your parents there.
Yeah.
Like it seemed like from where I come from, you had it made from where I come from. But when I'm listening to you, you're so similar to things that I've been through. Like everything you said, like I can relate. I was just waiting for you to finish, right? Like I used to fight. I mean, I got kicked out of 6 different elementary schools.
Same.
I went to 3 different.
She didn't say all that. Like, you just say your mom was a.
Middle schools. I went to 3 different colleges, and I mean, college is when I'm an adult.
Okay, so I ain't do that. No, I ain't do that college.
Yeah, so
come on.
What I'm saying is, but I lost multiple jobs as an adult. So the same thing from being in elementary school in my adulthood, all for fighting.
Yeah.
And for me, I think it was because of the environment that I was in.
I don't think she was talking about physically fighting someone and getting kicked out. I think she was talking about the fight to stand up for herself and other people. I could be wrong, obviously. She could mean she was just fighting people left and right. I agree, actually, Alicia. I agree. And I don't feel like he has the emotional awareness or the depth required to hold the space necessary to really dig into this. This lady is carrying this conversation on her own. Because she's really investigating herself, right? And she is engaging in deep thought. She is engaging in sort of unraveling of sorts, right? But it's not due to him. He is not helping with the question. He's not helping with the space being held. He's not helping with the unraveling. He is just kind of there. And barely that.
The environment created a standard that when I lived up to the standard, it continued to reward the standard.
Okay.
However, what was wrong with that was the standard wasn't a good standard.
Depending on what you fighting for. Okay, so we both had situations where we went to multiple schools because we were fighting. I was fighting because I don't want to sound like a victim, but I was fighting because I was being attacked. Right? I remember walking off the school bus on my second day of school at a new school and having girls circle me, and the ringleader being like, if you, like, they were in a circle, right? I was in the middle, and the ringleader was like, if you bump one of us trying to get out of the circle, then we all just gonna fight you. We all gonna jump you. And these are girls I don't know. I've never had words with. What's going on? So I fought because I was defending. Did you fight because you were starting it, or were you defending? Like, what do you fight for? Because when people see fighters, it's a problem, right? Automatically you see anger as an issue, but anger is just like any other emotion. What was it for? Are you fighting a cause? Are you fighting for something? Were you fighting to defend yourself, or were you fighting because you had anger in you and you wanted to beat down on the little? Like, what was you fighting for?
Oh, me, I was defending what I thought was myself and my family.
Okay.
Like I said, my mom was she did drugs, and I lived in a project. So for the most part, if somebody did drugs and it was close, we all knew, because I didn't have like I said, my older brother was diagnosed with schizophrenia
Right.
and bipolar, so he
Right.
didn't live with us. So in the projects, my mom's was very much older than me, right? So like my mom's got raped. She had me at like 45, right? So you gotta understand, my mom is a lot older than my peers' moms. My peers' moms is outside in the projects fighting with them. I say that to paint a picture. So I'm outside, like my mom is copping from a lot of my peers' older siblings because they sell the drugs in the projects.
Right.
So I would get teased for that. So like when I got to school, I was tired of getting teased. Like, you're not gonna talk about my mom's, things like that. So I would fight a lot, right? So like you couldn't just pick on me.
So you were fighting for honor.
Yeah, I was fighting. I thought it was to defend myself. However, as I got older, I understood that I didn't have to do that, because even then, like even when I was getting teased, I had to understand that I'm getting teased in the same environment that we all in. So yeah, you might have a PlayStation, but you still live in the projects.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you might have Nikes on your, but you're still in the projects. Like,
the quality of life is still.
You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, I might have on pay.
All right, this wasn't an interview. I think he needed a therapy session, and she is a sounding board for him to investigate his own issues. So I'm just going to be very open from here on. And this was not what I signed up for, but here we are.
Lesson, you might got on Nikes, but it's like we're still in a project.
We're still in a project.
We're still on subsidized housing.
Yeah.
So I had to learn these things over time, right? I say that to say, it's like, again, my whole point of saying that is, I hear someone that's sitting across from me whose lifestyle was probably, again, who I thought was way much better than mine, but she was going through the same thing I was going through.
This is what I want to reach on about, like mental health. Mental is really important, but we shy away from it. We don't care about it. Whether or not, like, I'm going to use an example, a phrase like that whole, I'll cry in a Porsche, right? When women are with.
I'm tired of y'all in this picture. I'm tired of y'all. This username and this picture, I'm tired of you. I'm tired of you. I'm just going to go ahead and say, I'm tired of you with this picture and this username. And that ain't right. You ain't right. That's all I got. You ain't right.
Wealthy men, but they're not being treated right. So they justify it by saying, well, if I'm going to cry, I'm going to cry in a Porsche. But if I'm crying in a Honda, we're still crying. We still feel pain. Our days are still bleak. We're still miserable. You just happen to be in a shinier, a better car. We all experience the same things in different ways. And for some reason, some of us take our experiences and we think it makes us better than others. And we think it allows for us to be in higher groups with higher statuses to look down upon others. But it's like, listen, it's the same shit. If your mama was on crack and she was abusive, not saying yours, but for example, and my mom was a rich doctor and I got everything I want, but but my stepfather, her boyfriend, whatever, was abusive. We both were little kids in a scary environment. Now, I'm going to have the resources to go off to college. I can make my pain feel a little better with money. That's why people think money buys happiness. I can make my pain better. I can afford to go to a therapist. I can afford to live a lifestyle and to create a whole new reality, and maybe to shut off what my stepfather did. And I can just go about my life. You can't do that, but you might be able to get on some shrooms and jump into a different reality, right? We're both doing the same thing. It's just in different ways. And unfortunately, we live in a society where if my way of handling my pain is glamorous, then it's better than your way. If it's dingy, rusty, ghetto, whatever, it's the same shit. It's the same shit.
Yo, listen, I know we're having a great conversation, but I had to let you know that this episode is brought to you by my guy, Darius Bendis. Now, listen, are you an entrepreneur who's looking for access to capital or funding to start, grow, or
painful when you think back?
To get access to this live is go to www.impactoverincomelive.com. That's impactoverincomelive.com, and you can get to the bag yourself. Now, let's get back to this episode. Do you think you was able to get over all of the pain, I guess, from like...
I don't think you ever really get over pain, but you cope. Absolutely. It's still painful when you think back, right? People say, no, I don't think anybody's healed. People are like, oh, come healed. If you're coming to me with a relationship, come healed. You never really heal. If I'm cut right now and it heals, I have a scar. It's never gone back to normal. I still have a scar there. That piece of my body is still more sensitive than any other because it was traumatized. So I think I cope, and I think I understand. I accept. I think I accept whatever has happened to me, whatever I've done. I think I forgive people that have hurt me. I think I forgive myself.
How? Like, how do you accept that?
I know. Because you realize that everybody's actions are a reflection of how they internally feel. If you triggered me right now, I got up and I said, man, fuck this shit. And I fucked your whole setup. You can be mad at me forever. Hold on to it. Say you never want to do a podcast again. Say guests are so rude and disrespectful. Or you can realize like, damn, she must have been really triggered. She must be going through something, and fix your shit and say, whatever. I mean, that doesn't mean that you give me access back to your life, back to your paw. It doesn't mean that you do, we could ever be the same again. But at the end of the day, you accepted what I've done. You accepted that you didn't deserve it. You maybe forgive me, but you lose access. You take that access away. People have too much access to other people. No. I think that's what it is. You can't truly forgive because you're still giving access to. I got a family member that's really hurt by his father, but he keeps giving him access. I said, baby, you got to give him, spoonfuls of presents. Hi, how you doing? Everything good? That's good. Okay, bye. Because when y'all get deeper, he starts to disrespect you. You start to feel degraded. You got to know where people belong in your life,
I feel like I'm getting a lot of like...
I want to burp. It's right here, but it's not going to come out. So it's going
to swallow. I mean...
Okay, but I tell you one thing, I don't do that. No, I don't. I'm a lady.
Pause, man. That was
you said it.
That was crazy. You trying to...
No, you said that. You got me all.
Anyway,
let's get back focused.
What I was saying was,
yes.
It seems like you got it all figured out.
No, I don't.
It seems like...
Okay.
It seems like when I hear you talk, I hear you give like it sounds like advice. It sounds like game.
I've been through it.
Yeah, but I'm not really hearing like how you feel through it. How
it is what I feel. I can only give game because I've experienced. When I talk, I'm talking from experience. So when
he does not know what to say. He does not know how to engage. And so he keeps putting the ball back in her court and not moving the conversation forward. I haven't heard how you dealt with it. She literally just told you how she literally just talked about herself and how she engages. And you're just sitting there apparently not listening. Then you're like, oh, I haven't heard how you got through it. So you weren't listening or you don't comprehend. Either you weren't listening or you don't understand. Those are your two options right now. He is a waste of people's time. Our time is getting wasted. I apologize. Hopefully I'm adding something to the discourse. If not, whatever. I actually do like what she is saying. I listen to her and I'm like, this is actually, I agree. And obviously when I disagree, I'm going to pause you and tell you. But I haven't really disagreed with anything that she said thus far.
You say, well, how? I'm telling you. And that's the reason why I wanted to start the mess. I just didn't want to be messy because I'm bored, blah, blah, blah. Even though I am a petty Betty, if I do say so myself. I wanted to show people what it looks like to call out abuse in real time. I wanted to show people what it looks like to process abuse in real time, to reflect what these feelings are. I think I underestimated that process publicly and how that would really feel. I think I thought I was built for that shit. And I think I still am, because mind you, this is not, it's recent. It's currently going on. I think I'm built for it. But I needed to feel it because now I need to feel what people have really went through. For example, I've just said, I've been abused. I'm hurt. I'm vulnerable. People say, shut up, you deserved it, da, 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 da. That is how that little girl or little boy feels when they go to their parents and they're already scared and hurt. And they're like, I'm going to say something that's going to be so scary. I don't know what your reaction is going to be. And for the kids or for the adults, because we all need it. We're all just big kids. We're all just grown kids, right? For the adults that get I support you, I believe you, I got your back. That nigga did what? That bitch did what? Oh, we going after them. For the people that got that, good for you. Good for you. You had support. You had a village. But for the people that didn't happen, or what was you doing to make him want to do that to you? What was you wearing to make him look at you like that? For the people that get that, or what were you wearing? Or the men feel like they can't even come out about abuse. We can't even give dumbass justifications to men like, what were you wearing? Or you probably deserved it. We can't even say that to men because men won't even come out. Because the first time men come out, I've experienced that with this whole messy situation. The first time a man comes out and says, a woman abused me, it's sassy boots. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong. Some niggas are sassy. Mm-hmm. I call them out every day. I'm calling one out right now. But a man that's arguing with a woman on social media because he's never got no game and, or he ain't never had no game and no women ever talk to him is different from a man that's saying, I was hurt by a woman. I was hurt. Or I was hurt by a man. It's different. Mm. And so when we talk about it, I don't know. We just got to destigmatize it and really, we don't got to be sad.
I do want to interview her, but I also want to interview him. I want to interview him. I want to know what the point of what he's doing is, because this don't make no sense. That don't make sense to me. Why are you?
every day. That's another reason why I wanted to come out and do it. Because people are like, well, if you were so abused, why are you smiling? If you were so hurt for so long, why do you laugh? And it's like, because why should I allow them to have my like, I don't even know if I know how to like articulate this. Why should you already taken everything. You're going to take my joy?
Can we get a tissue, please?
You already took everything. You're going to take my voice? I mean, if you've been through abuse and you didn't have a camera or a webcam and you didn't have audio of what happened, it's going to be difficult for you to prove, especially in front of people who are committed to, is it disbelieving? Not believing you. And so I wanted to do this because I want you to see what everyone has to go through, right? You got in a situation where you call out abuse, you got the people that love your abuser, they're hurt. You got the people that was abused by the abuser. Now you're opening another, now you're making them remember and relive their trauma. They're hurt, right? Thank you. Oh, is this bounty? This is nice. They're hurt. Everybody is hurt. Hurt people hurt people.
And this is what I wanted to, because I hear you say it's like everybody else, right?
Mm.
But we could take away from everybody else. I know you did this and it's helping everybody else understand, but I want to talk about you.
Okay.
Right?
Why does he keep doing that? This is the fourth time he has done that, where she is in fact talking about herself. I feel like he learned, oh, let's talk about you as a response to people expressing trauma, and he keeps using it over and over and over and over again. She literally is crying because she says people are taking her voice and engaging this specific way, and that she did it publicly, and she didn't know that there were sort of ways in which this is going to not be as comfortable if she did it publicly versus privately. And so you're sitting there and you're like, oh, let's talk about you. Who do you think she was talking about?
So and that's why I actually had a capacity, because it's I really want to talk about you now, but I understand. We do things and it can help everybody else. It's motivating, it's inspiring for everybody else, but forget them for a second.
Mm-hmm.
When we talk about therapy, I've said this 10 times over the past week. One of the best questions that I've ever been asked from my therapist is, how did that make you feel? Because again, I hear you and I hear a lot of myself and you. And what I mean, super understanding, right? A lot of times things are what they are. You can't change it. So when things happen bad, it's I'm even killed, right? So when I hear you speaking, I understand that, I accept that.
Right.
But one of the best questions I was asking me was how did that make you feel? And I wasn't even able to answer that,
right,
as I just explained a little bit, because again, I was so understanding. My therapist said, how did it make you feel that your mother
right,
probably wasn't as person as you wanted to be? I'm
right,
bro, my mom's the best moms in the world because she did what she had to do. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be the person I am.
Period.
Nah, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
How did it make you feel? So when I hear you, I'm I hear you talking about everybody this, nah.
Yeah.
That's cool, but
yep.
What about you though?
I feel everything. I feel I'm an empath, so I feel intensely. Maybe that's the bipolar. I feel intensely, so I feel 10 different emotions on one day. I might feel, happy that I'm finally free from a situation that I shouldn't have ever been in and I shouldn't have stayed in. I feel angry. I feel bitter. I feel resentment. I feel powerful. I feel emboldened. I can't, it would be difficult for me to be oh, I feel strong. Because sometimes I feel weak. But I'll take what something made me feel and I want to fight for people. And in that way, I fight for myself.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it's finally time that you are able to fight for yourself now?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you couldn't do that at a time?
I've always fought for myself. I've always been in situations. So being in the military, a lot of commanders, first sergeants can't keep their hands to themselves. They're very touchy. And when you're in a situation where you live with these men, you sleep with these men, you wake up with these men, you stay with these men, you shower right next to these men. It's I was in a situation where a group of girls felt one way about a sergeant and I felt the same way and we were all going to fight. And when it came down to it, I was the only one fighting. Mm-hmm. I worked at HR and craft where I came in with a group of new hires and I was so excited and I was okay, this is going to be a great job. But then the manager made it a point to fire everybody before Christmas and laughed about it, boasted about it. I got to keep my job. It was me and two other people that got to keep our jobs, but everybody else had to go and they were angry at me, angry at the people that got to stay. You know what I mean? It was a whole bunch of emotions. It was fucked up. Later on found out that they were hiring illegal immigrants, promising to pay them $12, but really paying them $6. So me being HR, like I fought for that. It's wrong. I guess I took my feelings from the whole watching my coworkers get fired thing on before Christmas, and they all have families. So I'm seeing some of them cry and some of them scream. That's crazy emotional. That's really intense. I took that feeling. I held that for a couple months, but then when that went down, I was like, oh no, we're gonna fight for them. So I'm a fight for myself. I'm gonna choose myself, but so I fight for others. That's how I fight for myself. I fight for me and the people that feel like me.
Okay. So when I ask you, do you think this is the time to fight for you? You think you're fighting for others as well now?
I think I'm fighting for me and others. I think two things can be true at once. Of course, let me give you an example with this whole messy situation, right?
No, don't give him no example. Say what you say and let it go. If he don't understand, move on. Don't explain yourself anymore. I feel like it's full time that you stop explaining yourself to these people and continue dragging how you've been dragging. This is annoying me. This man is annoying me, and he's only there trying to ask the same question repeatedly because he has no range. He does not know where to go. He does not know how to move the conversation forward. He doesn't know how to engage. It's very clear he does not know what to do with everything that you're telling him. He wants the content, but he does not know how to move the conversation forward. He literally don't know what to do. He is stuck in a conversation with someone who is unfortunately his intellectual superior and is not even fully aware of her own emotions in a way that he does not know how to deal with. This looks like a relationship, mind you. This looks like a relationship where the man just don't know what's happening. And you're there explaining yourself. No, he needs to stop and go grow some and then come back to this conversation. He's not ready for it. He's not ready. He's not ready to engage. This is a waste of time insofar as him being engaged in the conversation. It's good because I do think what she's saying is important and I think we can all learn something from it, but I also think that he doesn't know what he's doing. It is what it is. It's that simple, actually.
I just fought for me. Then when he called me and offered me $500,000 to make everything go away, I wouldn't have been pushing so hard for, but you've done A, B, and C. We gonna make sure they straight or what's up? It's you fight for yourself, but in so you help others as well. You fight for if you were abused as a child, you'd want to fight for the children that don't have a voice. You better than anybody would know how they feel, why they won't tell, why they're so scared. You've been through it. Why wouldn't you fight?
Right. Do you feel like people feel that though? Do you feel like people understand and they feel that you're fighting for them?
No. They feel like I'm fighting for them? Yeah. So the people that I'm actively fighting for know what I'm doing and know why I'm doing it. That's the only people that matter.
So when you say no, you don't feel like everybody understands?
No, I don't think everybody understands because you couldn't. I don't know. This is gonna sound so crazy. I don't know. I used to always ask myself when I was little, why did Rosa Parks do what she did? Why did Martin Luther King do what they did? Sure, it wasn't right. Sure, they were going through a hard time. And of course, I'm minimizing it. I know what they experienced, but what made you want to be the voice? Because everybody that's the voice gets shot, killed, freaking arrested. Everybody that is the voice, the one person that the people can, depend on to fight for what's right, they all get killed. So I was like, I get it, and I'm thankful. But that's really putting yourself in the line of fire for everybody else when you could just, fall back and deal with it. But then I realized, I think when I had my kid and when I look at my son, it's like, oh, the way I feel, and I don't know why they did it, but the way I feel, the reason I feel they did it is because this is not a life worth living if we have to live it like this. It's no point. There's no quality. If our kids can't go to school without being shot down, if our parents can't go to the grocery store without being killed, if we can't walk around at certain hours of night without being hung, if we can't look at white women without being dragged in the street like dogs, we're not living. We're here. We work, we eat, we go to sleep, we have sex, we make children, but we're not here. We're not really enjoying our life. We only get one. So if I gotta die fighting for something, fighting for a better life, fuck it. Or I could just live in this pain, in this reality.
So I guess I like how you even put it. You said with this mess, right? I feel like people know what we're talking about. So since
Yeah.
we're here, when we talk about that, what do you think your fight is then?
I don't know. My fight was with Mojo Jojo. I'm not gonna hold you. I said, oh no, when I reflected and I realized what happened, and when I realized what a true narcissist is and what it means to really be wrapped up in something like that, that triggered the like mental health advocate side of me to like really deep dive and figure out what's going on. Like what did I play? What part did I play in my own abuse? Why did I allow it? What's going on? When I told my story, it was going to be strictly about financial. I was going to say like, they always laugh at, sorry, there was a verb. Sorry. The verb. They always laugh at like Black people for being like poor or ignorant or we don't have anything. Every time, if you look historically, every time we've tried to build something, it's been torn down. And finally, when we have it, when a Black man or a Black woman has it, whatever it is, right? Success, money, and they can pour back in, sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes it does. But majority, depending on how you look at it, it doesn't happen. We get more clothes, and now our dogs have chinchillas in the wintertime and diamond leashes just because we got money. Fuck it, we ball. But everybody else is what?
Still
And praising you because you made it. Thank God, amen. You made it. Well, reach out your hand, nigga. Like help other people. Let's build up the community. So I was trying to talk about financial literacy because here we go. I met this guy. He came off like a brother. I'm gonna teach you. We're gonna make money. I got you. You're so this really like pumping up with love and care. I would say love bombing, but we never had sex. We never was in a relationship. Never. But it was like, I got you. I'm gonna pour into you. So you're excited. You're like, oh God, this is a great opportunity. I'm excited. And then like in a relationship that gets snatched away. And then you stay in a situation because you hope that you'll get back to when it was, I got you. We're gonna help you. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. But it never does. And then once you've had enough, you fall back, you reflect, and you realize I stayed for too long. I got played. And in doing, I played myself. And how can I learn from this and never do it again? So they make fun of us for not having, money or this or success, and our kids are this and that. But it's like, I wanted to talk about financial literacy because these are the mistakes that I made. We didn't put shit in a contract. I believed you. I trusted you.
This is so important, and it doesn't necessarily reflect a lot of conversation from last night. But I think this is important because one of the things that I've never fully got or understood was after the children are here, after the abuse has taken place, after all of that, yes, there is a space where we think, okay, how can we make sure this doesn't happen to you specifically again, but also other people, right? But in the moment where someone needs help and empathy and care, it is wild to take that moment to drag that person and throw in their face that you need to have made better decision. Well, they didn't make the best decision. The decision is made, it's over, it's done, they got abused, it's a problem. People's lives are lost. If your first instinct is to tell that person how they were wrong and all the things that they did wrong and how they need to take accountability in the moment they need help, I don't know that I can trust you fully with the duty of care necessary. If on top of the hurt that people are feeling, you want to add shame to that, I don't know that I can trust you with the care of other people. I think you have to first give empathy. If you want to give the blame first, give help. If you want to hold accountability, please give grace. It is in the giving of these other things that hopefully on the other end, you can sit down after they've come through whatever they're going through. You can sit down with them and have a broader conversation about what have you done wrong and can we make sure you don't go back into that situation. Because a lot of the time, abusers don't just show up as abusers and people are like, okay, well, let me get into my abuse bag. That's not what happens a lot of the times. And so I don't like when people like if your instinct is to blame, if your instinct is to shame, if your instinct is not empathy and care, like don't follow that instinct. Note something is probably are, but also don't follow the instinct. You're not helping. Think about how you're helping first and then engage.
These are things that can be avoided so that other people don't have to deal with that.
Mhm.
But when everybody came out, I got protective orders. I got pictures. He beat me.
Mm.
Okay. Well, and I'll just add context. A lot of the reasons why I felt like I really cared about this guy and really wanted to build this great.
Prince Freddie says, if I remember correctly, this is one of the reasons victims tends to not reach out. Why call a friend who's going to rub it in? Yeah. You do actually have to create a safe enough space for people to feel comfortable to come forward. Like, you have a responsibility. And if you don't feel like that is your responsibility, just don't actively engage in harm. Like, don't. Like,
Platform with this guy is because he always talked about his abuse, and that shit hurt me. Like, I feel. So I was like, oh my God. And it would be so frequently. So he would always tell stories. But then when it got to the point where I no longer even care for you, I don't even care what you do, I never want to talk to you again, I really don't care. It's hard to empathize with his abuse, especially when you feel like he uses his abuse to gain sympathy so that you could, become vulnerable and he can continue to abuse. When people started coming out about his abuser, his mentor, I remember something that he said 2-something shows ago where he was like, my mentor is still mentoring boys to this day. And Dr. Cheyenne was like, well, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to go public? Are you going to how are you going to fight this guy? Because he told the story to everybody, all the stories. She's like, clearly you're 35 now, you're grown, you feel strong enough, you've created this platform, you help people. So are you going to go after this mentor? And he kind of shut down. He didn't answer her. And immediately my instinct to fight came in. And I was like, well, he doesn't have to, talk about his abuse publicly and stuff like that. Because that's what abuse is. Like, I don't know. I was like triggered to fight and defend him, even though at that point I couldn't even stand him. But I was still defending. I don't know how to explain it. I didn't even believe him, but I did believe him, but I didn't believe him. But I was dealing with my own shit, so it didn't matter. But then when people started coming out about the mentor, I was like, oh shit, this is true. This mentor is still doing this to boys to this day. So here we have women who are coming out about physical stuff and about stalking and different things, which I experienced. When you say, no, I don't want to work with you anymore. It's calls and calls and emails and I can't lose you. And it's possessive.
Mm.
It's possessive, and you cannot possess a human being. We are not yours. So I started hearing the similarities, even though they were with him and I was only working with him. Then I started talking to people that worked with him. Similarities. Been talking to people that worked with him. Similarities. We all know that we've been financially abused in that situation, but I've never been physically abused by him or sexually abused by him, or, I was only supposed to talk about financial. But I felt like I'm fighting for myself anyway.
Mm.
I mean, that doesn't mean, here's.
Yeah, oh my God, this is so painful. 1, thank you all for being here. 2, I apologize. The reason this is like pulling teeth is because she is left by herself to undo a lot of the information and provide that information to us. And he doesn't seem to know what is happening. It does, like, there is no clarifying question. There is nothing that he knows of that is like leading the conversation. He doesn't have any real follow-up, anything. He's not adding to it. It's just her there, where she could just do this on her live stream by herself. You're in the mess of everything happening with her. What I am perceiving in an interview is you go and do some research about what it is that she's talking about. You break down as much as you can all the things that she said and what it is that you want to do with this interview, what it is that you want to uncover. And you have questions, maybe write them down, but generally, even in your head, ideas about what you want to do. And then you engage with this person and you help them, you ground the conversation so that you can, figure out what it is that you want to figure out, uncover what it is that you want to uncover, clarify anything that you had questions about. You don't just sit there like a blob doing absolutely nothing while she's talking and you're like, oh, Yeah. hmm Like, I get that this is clickable. I get that this is a moment. I get, like, even for me, I don't know if she would have interviewed, but the reason I didn't engage is because there is a disconnect from what is happening to the point where I'm like listening, watching, and like engaging. And like while I have questions, I'm going to write those questions down. I'm going to write what she said down. If she didn't provide clarification, I'm going to bring it up. You said this. Can you explain it? Like there's no engagement. He's just kind of there. He's not even a sounding board. He's just like there. Like he's literally just there.
Stories and just believe people and then, fight and just believe everything. But when those things were vetted, when those things were founded, I was like, oh no, I'm already in the fire. I've already through my first shot. Might as well go all the way.
So I guess, all right, so from somebody on the outside looking in, right, we look at, I guess it's tonight's conversation, we see this big platform that's clearly giving people opportunities, right, that's taking people from social media influencers to being on this big platform and now have a name for themselves, right, putting money in people's pocket, taking people around the world or the country to travel. And it's like, why do all that for people just to abuse them, I guess? Like,
I think you're only able to do that. I wouldn't say that. I'm not going to say everybody that's ever been successful is a terrible person. I'm not. There are successful people that work hard, got their bread, helped the community, and called it a day. But I'm talking about the people that are like money hungry and power hungry, and they need the money and the power. They only got that, everything that you just named, it only happened because of how they scammed. Because of how they lie. It's like that one meme that's like, it's going to take me a little longer because I'm not scamming, selling pussy, killing people, manipulating, whatever. It's because
I love that she just said that. So on my second channel, which I'll start posting on, I said this month, but I'm in the process of moving, so I'll do it. I started an outline for a video, and I think this might be one of my first videos about power. And there are a bunch of philosophers. I was doing a bunch of reading on power and the accumulation of power. Obviously, this has to do with Trump and the cult-like behavior of not just Trump, but like how power is accumulated. And I think we are under this fake notion. I think we are under this fake notion that power is going to be handed to you. And because we are, and I didn't notice this until people are like, oh my God, I hate Donald Trump. And like, fine, good. But why do you hate Donald Trump? Because of what he expresses outwardly, the craving for power to have power, and the willing to lie, scam, and steal and claw his way to power. You do know that's literally everyone, right? The people, the idea that people who want power are corrupt and mean, while it's not false, right? While it's not false, it applies to almost everyone with power. You don't just get that by saying, oh, give me power, right? And so, how do good people accumulate power? And because if you think of power as a weapon, this becomes a problem. If you think of power as a tool, then what you can do with that tool is very important and very useful. But how do you access that tool when the world requires, if everyone trying to access the same kind of power, the same kind of tool, is conniving and willing to do what it takes to get there, you have to kind of become the person who will do what it needs to get there and hope that you have enough of your humanity left when you get it to use it for the betterment of everyone else, right? And so there is this, I'll flesh this out more, but there is this philosophical like dilemma, this very specifically moral dilemma about who gets to accumulate power and how that power is used. And I'm not quite sure that I fully believe yet that good people can accumulate power in a world that rewards like aggressive willingness to trample everyone in your path. I do like how she engages with power. Like I do. And on this, I would like to talk to her separately, but I do. And it just reminded me of that video that I was outlining.
You know, and I say this, and I've always said this, like, good guys don't finish last. It's just that the bad guys take it first. And so now you have to, okay, like, let's say we're building up something, me and you.
Yeah, the absence of power doesn't make one good. It just means you're weak, unfortunately. We have made it so that weak means good. And we've become disinterested in power because of how we conceptualize how to attain it. But you need it. Like, for you to be protected, you need power. Or someone who cares for you need to have power. And to get power, sometimes, a lot of the times, most of the times, if not all of the times, require a kind of aggression that people who don't have it don't want to engage with, and we make ourselves feel better with not having it by pointing out the moral failures of those who have attained it.
I'm the good guy, you're the bad guy, you come and knock my shit over. Gotta build it up again. It's gonna take you longer. People are gonna take it. Like with this situation with me, I had millions of followers before I joined the platform. The platform wasn't where it was. They used my audience, they directed, whatever. Okay, cool. I asked him, after all the abuse, after everything, I said, hey, let's keep things cordial. I just don't want to work with you. I don't want to work with you anymore. I want to disassociate myself with tonight's conversation. I want to be apart. No. You should tell people that we just grew apart. I'm not going to tell people that we grew apart. I just want to be cool. How about you just give me a goodbye post? That way, my fans, my followers, the people that come to the show to see me and support me and show me love, they'll know that I'm no longer associated, but I'm going about my day. He said, no. He said, I got videos of you for 4 or 5 years. I own all the footage. Okay. So it would be weird if we said goodbye to you and we were still posting you. Bet. So stop posting me. Well, I can't do that because I own all this. Listen, I said, if you don't give me a goodbye post, I'm going to say goodbye myself. Don't do that. Calling. It's like people have to go through extreme measures to get away from others. Why is abuse so prevalent? Why does it happen so naturally? I'm sorry, this shit happens every day. And more people are enabling and complicit than they know. Every time I justified, every time somebody said, quit. Family, my father, my mother, my friends, my man, quit. This is terrible. I would say, first of all, it's good money. This is good money. So one, you're focused on money. So when you focus on only money, your quality of life will dwindle, and you'll get that money, but your quality of life will dwindle because you're too busy chasing. You won't stop and enjoy. So what's the point, right? I said, it's good money. And then I said, you don't understand. He do the things that he do because he was abused. You don't get it. That is enabling. Like, that's enabling. I thought I was trying to be more understanding. Like, I had a good childhood. So maybe, you didn't have a good childhood. Really bad things happened to you for a long time. I can understand why you are so angry, why you yell at people, belittle people, demean people, because you're just angry. But how many times do you have to beg a person to heal before you're like, you know what? You're not going to change, and you can't go around fucking with everybody's lives. Going in and tearing up people's lives, but then stepping on a platform and acting like you're doing some service to a community that you don't even give a fuck about. So, yeah.
I think it is insane, taking what she says true, to be making the kinds of money that he was making and not paying the people who are around him, to use people's labor and not reinvest in the people who gave you their labor. I think that is absolutely insane. And that, for me, means you are no better rather, than the white supremacist system that people are praising these Black people who became successful for. Like, if you just become a part of the system and you don't give anything back and you use other people, you're just as bad, maybe even more, because you're close to that which you want to use. And that's insane to me. Neeks, became a member. Welcome to the membership. I appreciate that. I think that's insane. I do. It's a special kind of disgusting to use your own people who are praising you for that which you have accomplished. You're using those who invest in you, who care for you, to further build. The exploitation of people who are investing in you is disgusting and diabolical. It is. If you don't pay people for their work, if you don't give people sweat, they're investing sweat equity and you're using that against them, you're exploiting them. No, he's trash. If true, he is trash. And the fact that Gab would never, it would never, absolutely would never. I'm going to put this out there. I would much rather not have anything and make sure the people working with me, not just for me, but with me, are good. I would rather lose everything, making sure everyone is good, than for me to hoard everything and not pay people who work with me. It is wild and exploitative for you to just use up someone's labor and do not give them anything, particularly when you can provide it. Particularly when you can provide it. That is insane to me. And when you're out there bragging about this and that, and you have this much money and you have that, and you buy this and you clean yourself with this money and that money, and you're not paying people, you're disgusting and degenerate, and you're worse than the white supremacist system exploiting Black labor. That's how I feel about that.
Yeah, where did it first go left at though? Like, what happened?
I think, and that's another thing. As I'm processing, it isn't just everything was great and then Tuesday Bob went crazy. It's little things like he would always say, "You're fat, you're this, you're that." I was in the military, so men were mean. People talk shit. I didn't care. But when you realize that for years and years, having somebody say you're not valuable, you're not going to find anything else. This is the best opportunity you'll ever have. You're just a content creator. You're fat. You need to get prettier. I thought, like, fuck that nigga. Like, I was like, whatever. But every single day, like, hearing this, it's doing something to you. It makes you subconsciously say, maybe he's right. Maybe they're right. That's what happens with children or anybody that's been abused. Maybe I did deserve it. When the guy slaps his wife and then says, "You made me do that." And she's like, "You're right, I did. Like, I shouldn't be so mouthy." Or, "Yeah, I should have given you your drink on a coaster instead of putting it on the..." No. There's no justification.
So when did the light bulb hit that you knew that this isn't for me? I guess when was that moment, that awakening moment? Like, I can't take.
I think I've been felt that for. I think we were working together. I've been on the stage for like 4 years. So the first, I say 1 year was like hard, but it was just I'm learning. The second year was still hard. Everything been hard, but the second year was like, oh, okay, I don't like this. But then once the investments came in, right? Once the whole, hey, I know I screwed you up with this. Let me how about we do this together and we invest in this and we do that. Once that happened and I fell into a debt, I wanted to leave, but I wanted to leave after
Some of the comments on the video are funny. Someone said, "I'm still piecing together what's going on." This man is not. I'm actually annoyed in a way that I haven't been annoyed before at an interviewer. Like, not even Shannon Sharp is this bad. And Shannon Sharp is a terrible interviewer. I mean, I guess that's the path to success. Just be a bad interviewer. I think that's the path.
I got out of debt.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say in 2024, November, I was 100% zero debt.
Well,
no
how
debt.
You was getting debt? You was paying, like, what you mean?
So, like, for example, he would, so for us, he would say, like, for me and Kitty, he would say, I'm going to invest in your tour. Or I really want you to do something else, like another show, and I'm going to put it on the app. You know, all of us were there. The core was there when the app was just starting. So we were working hard, like 20 something episodes a day, like every day, to try to get this content on this app and build up this app. And finally, when the app blew up, he was like, "Oh yeah, we're losing money. I'm broke. I'm bankrupt." So it's like, okay, because he would make you want to work with him under the umbrella of, once this shit hit, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
But the shit hit, and he was like, "I don't have any money. I'm sorry. My bad." So he would tell us, like, he would tell me that he was going to do 8 episodes. Go ahead and talk to my videographer, set it up. We're going to do this. Of course, production is expensive. All this stuff is expensive, right? Cool. So I would do it. He would say, just handle everything. And on the back end, I got you.
Okay.
So you would do it, and say, okay, everything's right. It's like how you want it, whatever. We good? Oh, yeah. In 3 weeks, we'll have a contract for you. Okay, cool. 3 weeks come, nothing. In another week, nothing. Just wait another week, nothing. Finally, you just give up. Towards the end, when I was like pulling away, I think he could tell. and it became more possessive. It wasn't like that in the beginning. It just got, over time, gradually, he said he made me feel like I couldn't go back on tour unless he took control of my merch. Well, the merch is how you make the majority of the money because all the tour money goes to him. So the merch is where you make your money. But then he would not give me certain merch on certain cities, or when I would get my merch, it would be like fucked up. Like it looked like somebody like jumped all over it. Like it looked like my cups and the packaging were all messed up. So you can't sell that. It's just small things of sabotage to your side business.
There's some contract questions that would come up immediately. Contracts around merch. Who owns what name? Who has the right to the merch? Are there trademarking rules? Is this just word of mouth? Were you supposed to bring your own merch? Did he carry all the merch? Like, the fact that this man just sitting there with the hand on his chin and the hat on his head, and there's legitimately no, like, I have no clue what's happening. Like, I know there's an issue with merch. That is it. That is it. There's no clarification. And it's not because she's wrong, mind you. It is because she understands what she's saying, right? And she said it in a way that she understands it. But as the observer, you don't fully know what is happening. So at this point, we need some clarification about merch, control of merch, selling of merch, contracts. Why did you not have access to your merch? Can you articulate any of that? Like, there is a lot of questions here. There is a lot to mine for right now because everyone is confused. Not her problem again. This is where you start unpacking as an interviewer, but because you're just sitting there with that dumb hat on your head and your hand at your jaw, you're not doing anything. And this is pissing me off. It's actually kind of pissing me off. Like, why are you here? Like,
because he knows that when what you got on the side builds, you're gonna leave, and his fear is that you will leave. So for the people that he isn't sleeping with, financial is how he'll get you, in debt. He'll say, "I'm sorry, I'm gonna make it up." Hey, listen, this year, once you sign that contract, I'm telling you, people are gonna come to the show. They're gonna buy your stuff. You're gonna make projected what 200, 300,000 this year. You're gonna make da.
So I guess when you say you were in debt, I guess I'm not understanding because you said you were saying because you was getting good.
Yeah, you're getting.
So you weren't listening. She was being made to pay for things. She then goes to get the money back, reimbursed to her, and he would say next week, and then not give it to her. Her merch wouldn't get paid. She wouldn't get paid back on time. Like the fact, when you said you didn't get...
So you're getting good money, and so you're actively investing in yourself on other ventures. He gets mad when you are doing other things. So he'll tell you things like, you need to quit your job. That shit makes you look tired. You need to stop working over here, work over here. And so when that didn't work with me, it was, hey, listen, okay, since you're not gonna quit your little job, invest in this because we're gonna do a show. The show's gonna be like this. Just handle it. And then in the back end, I'm gonna give you the money.
Okay.
But then he never gives you the money. Well, guess what? That's not illegal. Somebody telling you, if I told you right now, hey, listen, I can buy you 4 more cameras and da-da-da-da, just buy it and then I'm gonna repay you. That's not illegal. Somebody can do that and lie to you. And
if there's reasonable reliance on this, there are principles in contract law, even absent a contract, where you relied on it. Promissory estoppel, for example, is like a general thing out there. But a reasonable reliance is a means for getting this. If you have it in writing, if you relied on his promise to pay you back and then did the thing that he told you to do, then you can sue him for this. So not illegal isn't doing a lot of work because while true, it's not illegal, legality isn't the question here. It's whether or not there was a contract or quasi-contract that you can use to get reimbursement. And there seems to be.
if you believe them, that's your fault.
So how many shows you think you did? Because I guess it's
well, so I did it in groups. So my first group,
you would have zero time. You would have zero time to not reimburse me. Because if you don't reimburse me the first time, you are not getting away with it. But I'm not, this is not a blame on her, because I think people deal with other people differently. People trust other people differently. People believe in other people differently. You have one time, and that one time doesn't mean you're going to get away with it. I will fight for this, like, on just principle alone. On just like, just come to me and say, I'm not going to give it to you. I can't give it to you. The moment I come back to you for my money, and you said next week comes and I don't get it, you have lost the opportunity to say, I'm sorry, I can't give it back to you. You need to tell me immediately you can't, so I need to deal with that and we can figure out how to get this payment back. But if you tell me next week, note that you have cut off all right to not be dragged into court, to not be dragged mercilessly online, you have one time. And that one time is for you to come to me, apologize, and tell me you will not be able to give it to me. That is it. If you try to trick me, it's on forever. if you try to trick me for something that you owe me, I will never forgive you. I will never let it go. I will drag you mercilessly until I get it back. Like, no, absolutely not. I don't play with people's money, so don't play with mine. And it's not just money.
First batch, my first season would have been $100,000.
Oh, okay.
Do you get what I'm saying? I did the season. I was like, oh, okay, we did the 8 episodes because it was supposed to go on the app.
Mhm.
So I did my podcast. And we waited for it to go on the app so they could start making money, generating, so I get my money back and he can get money. And he said, as long as he owns all the footage, he can, I don't know. I can't really get into detail of like what he said because it was a lot. It's very jumbled and mumbled. It's confusing. It's a lot of fast talking. It's a lot of gaslighting. I didn't say that. I never said that. So I know if it comes off like, wait, how did you lose money? I was like processing that in real time. That's why I started the series. Like, where did I go wrong? Right? Now I did get myself out of debt and I'm proud of myself for that. But how did I go? Where did I go wrong? And I think where I went wrong was I had a lot of trust and I put a lot of trust in somebody that I knew wasn't trustworthy. I thought I was helping build a platform that in the back of your mind, you kind of know isn't yours for, he would say like, you're the first lady.
Does she have record? I don't know, but he ain't asking. I don't know, but he's not asking. I do not know, but he's not asking. He's absolutely useless.
You were there when this was nothing, when this makes money, we're going to take off. But it made money. And then he was like, well, I'm bankrupt. I don't have anything. But then with the same breath, he would get on stage and be like, I'm rich, because he can't help bragging. So it's like, are we losing money? Is the show, it seems it's getting bigger. It seems you're making a shit ton of money because you keep bragging about it. So what about all those investments? What about all those things you said? Why did you just lie? What was the point of it? And when I'm processing it, the only thing that comes to my mind is just like with the relationships, because with the women, it's all the same. It's a pattern. I'm going to keep calling. I'm going to keep calling. I'm going to keep calling. I'm going to try to bring you back. I'm going to buy you a dog. And then I'm going to say, it's my dog. Bring it back. I'm going to get you back. I don't know. Every year we wanted to leave. We all came together and said we wanted to leave. I don't know. That's what abuse is. I think it's confusing.
She doesn't explicitly say this, but this could also be it. After she's invested so much, it felt like she needed to continue hoping for her return because she doesn't want to lose everything that she already put into it. She didn't say that, but it could be.
And frustrating. And I think when you try to articulate it and put it into, I even tried to put it in chronological order. I did.
That's what I was going, yeah.
I tried. I was trying to make sense of what the fuck the last 4 years of my life have been. What the fuck? So that's what the whole, like, who the fuck did I work for? Dead ass. Who did I work for? Because as I'm trying to understand my own financial abuse, I'm getting confirmation on the sexual abuse, all while getting new information about the physical abuse from relationships, and everything's coming together. And I'm like, oh, you're actually a terrible person. You're actually that. I mean, I don't know. I didn't know. I knew he was an asshole. I knew he was deeply hurt, but I don't think we understand the true definitions of words.
Look, if she stops talking, I don't think he would know what to do. I honest to God don't think he would know what to do. And I think she has failed in choosing her interviewer. I think she failed. I don't know if this is a friend. I don't know if this is a favor. I don't know if this is a strategy. Don't know why you chose him. But I mean, I guess I was right because as soon as I started the video and I saw the backdrop with those rappers, I was like, okay, yeah, it's a no from me, but let me give it a try.
I always was like, he's a narcissist. I have videos where I'm throwing shots at him like narcissist. But did I truly know what a narcissist was? No. Not until I met one, went into business with one, became a friend with one, and said, shit. Like,
Did you just say maybe he's shy? Not maybe y'all play too much. Maybe he's shy. Yeah, go right. I was like, what are you?
you know, another thing is, in our community, we don't, as long as somebody has money, we equal money with success of anything. When we see, I'm not trying to like, you know, throw shade or nothing, but when we see Nick Cannon have 14 kids by 14 Instagram models, we say, at least he got money. Because in our mind, that means he will do the right thing and take care of those kids and be in every one of those kids' lives and teach and guide and love those kids. Yeah, he will. Will he? Or will he just, when they grow up, say, will he only?
Honest to God, why is this man here? I'm very frustrated. Like I am so frustrated. Why is this man here? He's not engaging. He's not engaging with anything. She just dropped a bar about how we moralize wealth and how we demoralize poverty, right? How we look at people who have money versus how we look at people who don't, how we ascribe certain attribute to people who have and don't. Like it's insane to me that he just sat there.
Only like 7 of them. Will he ignore the ones that don't look right? Or, you know, I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to, we equate money with success. So as long as I have money, as long as I look the part, as long as the people around me think I appear confident, strong, I appear like I have integrity, it's a fucking facade. You had to build up an image. And I think people that have to do that will always hate people like me. I'm always going to be hated because I'm authentic and I am who I am, off camera, on camera, when I wake up, when I go to bed. Of course, there's parts of me that you won't see because as a human being, I have my parts. I can have my privacy with certain things, but for the most part, it is what the fuck it is.
No, I understand.
You know?
I guess because like I'm somebody who's striving to be, you know, successful and a boss of my own sort and put other people in position to make money. I'm just wondering, I guess, like where did it go wrong? Maybe even so I can learn for myself. Because in my mind, I'm like, why would I put so many people in position to win just to F them over?
Did I put people in positions to win, or did I need pawns in order to make money?
I understand that.
Did I put?
I think that it's our fault. No, I'm not going to say it. I'm going to say something else. I think this is our fault. I think he is our fault. I think 100,000 subscriber with this level of this lack of engagement, I think that's an us problem. I do. I think that's an us problem. This is wild to me. I think that is you all, not you all, but this has to be an us problem. A man with a mic will do. A man with a mic will do, apparently. This is insane to me.
Taraji P said when she went against Tyler Perry, I think, I don't want to, she said, he gave me the most money that I ever made, but he didn't pay me what I was worth. And people are like, so what? You got money. Didn't you get money? Yeah, but you have to also understand our industry, how much this makes. Like, for example, if me and you go in on a project and we know it's going to make $100 million, but I give you 10,000 and I say, hey, good job on your part of it, but it didn't make anything, but we both know what it really made. I paid you 10K, bro. But did I pay you what you were worth?
But that's just being a liar. Like if you say, if I make nothing, that's just being a liar.
Right. So many of these people.
Dope boy, Keita Rose is just for herself. Is she lying? If she's only thinking about herself, the question is she lying? Because I wouldn't see a problem. Wake up, Themis. I would not see a problem with this if she was only doing it for herself also. I don't understand what, like, yeah, let's say she's doing it for herself. Shouldn't she stand up for herself? I mean, if we have defenders of that man here, period, I have time and energy, and my head is not hurting. So just know, I can drop the link. If you have something you want to get off your chest about Keita Rose, let me know and I'll drop the link for you.
People are liars. So many of these people are manipulators because they need you to get where they want to be. They're opportunists. And now I'm finding that there's more opportunists and people like that than there are people that'll be like, hey, want to work together and create something great. And that is the reason why we cannot achieve and we cannot go higher in our community. We can't, because we're so focused on having things. We want to have things. We want to have bitches and cars and da-da-da. We want to brag. We want to brag in front of thousands of people and say, I'm rich. Because we want all the people to clap and we want all this, but we never think about the people that you had to step on, use, spit on, yell at. I'm sorry. The people that are the people that make that fucking show run don't make enough to survive. Yet he's.
By the way, that link is only for people who have a problem with her, or anything that I'm saying. That's it.
Constantly saying, quit your job. Trust me, when this takes off, it's taking off. Stop lying. Same thing with the whole craft. You're a $1 billion company. I'm not saying that, the company did this. I'm saying where I worked, you're a $1 billion company. And you promised these people $12 an hour, these illegal immigrants, $12 an hour. And they are working in 20-degree weather in freezers. They worked in freezers. They had coats every day. Imagine working in a freezer every day. You can give them $6 more so that their kids can eat. You could. Now, that would make you a good person. That would make you somebody that was trustworthy. That would make you somebody that does what they say they're going to do.
Right. I guess going back to the Taraji P. Henson thing, right?
Okay.
Like outside of the lying, because it's just a liar. I'm saying like when she says, yeah, he paid me good money, but he didn't pay me what I was worth. Isn't your worth like perspective based? Because if I'm making, I don't know, let's say I'm making $100 million, right?
Right.
And I decide to pay you, I don't know, $10,000. If you say okay,
right?
Am I wrong? Am I bad?
Yes, you are trash, disgusting, disturbing, useless, weak, a nothing, a B word. If you, because someone is desperate, because someone want to do you a favor, because someone is engaging with you, you have millions and millions of dollars, and you are just going to give someone what they will accept, it means that you are a disgusting human being. Yes. Yes, it does mean that. It does mean that. It sure does. If you can pay someone a better wage and they are quote unquote worth it, the value they bring, is more than what you're paying them. And because they're accepting your pay, you decide, well, they accepted it, so here is $10,000. Yes, you're a trash, disgusting human being. Yes, you are. And the fact that you did not know how to do that analysis by yourself and you're asking it also means you're a trash person. It also means you're a trash person. If you are willing to take advantage of people because they don't know how to negotiate for their pay, you're a disgusting person. Yes. Yeah, that's what it means. In a community that is newly coming into itself, right? Being able to have agency within said community, the people who have resources, I don't know, P. Diddy, taking advantage of people who don't know how to negotiate for themselves and stand up for themselves means that you're a terrible person. It does. What do you mean? You are taking advantage of people because of their ignorance. You're a bad person. What do you mean? You can say, oh, well, I'm a good businessman because all that matters is my bottom line and I'm protecting my bottom line. Good on you, you're still a trash person. We can make moral judgments about you, yes. You're predatory. That you're asking that question says more about you than you think. Not only are you useless and don't have the conversational range to engage in discourse with this woman, you're also morally bankrupt. And you show that by asking a question right now that is not you playing devil's advocate, that is you working through the fact that you would do and engage in the same kind of practice.
Company. And you promise these people $12 an hour, these illegal immigrants, $12 an hour. And they are working in 20-degree weather in a freezers. They worked in freezers. They had coats every day. Imagine working in a freezer every day. You can give them $6 more so that their kids can eat. You could. Now, that would make you a good person. That would make you somebody that was trustworthy. That would make you somebody that does what they say they're going to do.
Right. I guess going back to the Taraji P. Henson thing, right?
Okay.
Like outside of the lying, because he's just a liar. I'm saying like when she says, yeah, he paid me good money, but he didn't pay me what I was worth. Isn't your worth like perspective based? Because if I'm making, I don't know, let's say I'm making $100 million, right?
Right.
And I decide to pay you, I don't know, $10,000. If you say okay,
right?
Am I wrong? Am I a bad person for that?
No, you're not bad for that. But then you have to understand different industries, right?
Don't lie to him. Yes, he's bad for that. Do not lie to him. Do not hold his feelings and tell him he's not wrong. He's wrong. It's not perspective based. How much do you think this person is giving to your project? What is that value? You don't care for people. If people are around you, you want to treat them. Like, imagine people investing in you, caring about you, and you don't think you owe it to them to be good to them. Sure, they're working for pay. Some people, you want to know what the fundamental problem is? I think we don't get that it's not just about working. Like, you think you can exchange labor for money, and we do that, and we try to engage in this kind of negotiation of selling our bodies and labors for a check, right? There is a part of this that is deeply problematic around capitalism. You can't actually afford someone else. Let's be very clear. So it is good to make sure and encourage an environment where people feel trusted and cared for. And if you can't do that, maybe you shouldn't be running a business. It is this like parasitic, predatory nature of business that is having people not wanting to engage. Like, it is weird to not want to care for the people around you. It is weird to say, well, let's see how much I can extract from this person without giving them anything back. That is weird. It is wrong. And I don't know why you don't have, like, I don't get how there's not like an immediate moral trigger to say, this is wrong, yo. Like, this is wrong. Like, I should not be exploiting people. Why do you have to be told that? Like,
in our industry.
Yeah, this is Steve Harvey's argument. He's treating you bad because you're allowing it. And you want to know something really sad? A lot of people don't even know that they're being abused, right? A lot of people don't know what to turn to. A lot of people don't know how to negotiate. A lot of people, like, there is so much unknown that if you're the person with the power, the expectation is that you're engaging carefully with people who don't have power. Sometimes it might look like giving up more than you think the person deserves because you want to care for that person. The lack of care is ridiculous, particularly when you're dealing with people within your own community who are praising you because you have made it and they're looking to you for guidance. That is trash. I think it is absolute trash to want to exploit the people who have been exploited the most, right? These people are marginalized. And you have made it. I don't know how you made it, but you've made it. And instead of looking back to try to help those who are supporting you, looking up to you, you decide, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take advantage of the people who are the most disadvantaged. That is wild. That is wild. Again, it goes back to that power thing. Maybe some of the people with the most power are the most exploitative, and therefore the exploitation continues. It's maybe not even a white supremacist thing. It might just be a human thing. Because of the competition to get to power, the people who accumulate and get power are some of the most vicious, vile, disgusting, degenerate people. And that kind of heartlessness does not allow for the kind of care required to uplift those who are quote unquote beneath. That is disgusting. It is degenerate. And this man is trash. Not what he said, I said him.
Industry, we don't know how much a thing, like in that industry, in the movie industry, you don't know how much the movie's gonna make. I mean, once you become like a big director, producer, then yeah, you kind of know. But still, even they have their flops where they were like, damn, I thought that, we put 100 million in this. We thought we were gonna make 200 million, but we didn't. So you never know. So you sit there and I mean, yeah, you write on the contract, or yeah, it's like 100,000. But when you realize that it's taken off and that it's made 200 something million, okay, the first time you might be like, well, now I know. Now the next movie you need to say, hey, I think this movie.
No. Oh, you paid less, even with the money situation. You paid less because we didn't think it was going to blow up. It blows up. You get a windfall. You don't just say, oh, wait, the contract done. You only get 50K. You only get 10K. Now I get 100K. No. That is not right. You leave a bad taste in everyone's mouth. And while it is legal, it is very immoral. Because the information, the material information we had when we signed on to do this project is that it would not make a ton of money. Now that it made a ton of money, now there's a separate issue about how much you invested, right? And the fact that you were going to lose money. But the moment you made a ton of money, there is now a space, if you so choose to take it, to renegotiate contracts and reinvest. Every single contract, mind you, that I have ever done for someone that I'm working with, I've always left open the possibility for renegotiation if something were to happen that blew up. I have never, ever written or signed a contract where I wasn't leaving an opportunity for the other person to benefit if something better were to come. That is not because I'm trying to be good at contract. It's because I want to care for the person who is engaging in the work with me. It is ridiculous to me that you're thinking, oh, if I make $100 million and I only paid you $50,000 and we expected it to only make $1 million, but now we have $100 more million, I shouldn't have to engage with you anymore. That is wild. That to me is wild.
The last movie I was on made 100 million. So instead of taking that 10,000, I want 40,000 or I want 100,000. And if that person laughs in your face and says, "Hi, you're not worth it," then walk away. That's how you develop your worth, but you have to develop that worth because one, that comes from talent, right? Some extra in a movie is not Taraji P. Henson. So you're not going to pay Taraji P. Henson what you pay some extra in a movie. And so a lot of it is, it's a hope, or they'll sell you a dream. The next one. And then you find, or we'll figure out, listen, I'll pay you this, but in the back end, if this does what it needs to do, I got you. It doesn't work like this.
Right.
They don't got you.
So did you sign any contract at all?
I signed I signed the contracts for the specific tour, but for I feel like his goal was not to have you do something else.
Right.
So yeah, the contract for the tour, he did little things like make deals with my boyfriend so that I'd have to pay for my own flights. Right. So what he did was, I guess my ex-boyfriend, so my boyfriend at the time had told him something was up. Like we didn't get the money that we needed to for the flights, because usually we get, flights, hotels, whatever. I didn't know this, but apparently he had cut off flights. He was like, y'all are paying for your own flights. Y'all are paying for your own hotels. Okay, so he had gotten an advance so that he could pay for our flights and hotels so we can get there. Cool. So the whole tour goes, and I didn't know until I waited for my paycheck and I didn't get my paycheck. And I was like, so I hit up the manager, like, where's my money? And she was like, oh, we made a deal. You promised to pay this money back. Who? You and your ex. Was there a contract? She sends a promise to pay, but there's no signature. I said, so even if y'all did make a deal, he didn't sign anything. What are you doing? And even if I did sign off on it and I did want to pay for my own flights, own hotels, it's shit like that. Knowing your worth. I don't want to pay for my own flights in order to get somewhere and work a job. You know, I don't want to do that, especially not when that wasn't the standard before. So I would like to have that conversation of why am I now paying for my flights? But instead of having that conversation with me, he'll go to someone else.
To request that someone come and invest in your business, but they need to pay for their own flights and hotel is disgusting and diabolical. And even if he went behind her back to get someone else to sign on her behalf, mind you, unless this person was her manager, which, sir, first of all, why are you sitting there and not asking if her boyfriend was working in the capacity of her manager? Because the boyfriend should not have signatory authority, right? He should not have the authority to bind her to some agreement without her consent. That's the first thing, unless he is the manager. And then there is a problem of the contract not being signed. And so you're just sitting there like, talk, like, well, how are you not, like, you have no questions. You have no questions. None. All right.
And have that conversation. So she gives me the promise to pay. It wasn't signed, and they were like, it is what it is. And I said, okay. I mean, there's nothing we can do. It is what it is. I paid for my own flights to get to the place. Okay. But it's shit like that where you're waiting for a paycheck and then you find out some slimy shit happened in the back end and you're like, okay, like this is not what you need. So I think it was a lot of promises, a lot of, I got you once this hits, a lot of back end. And that was one of the things that I really wanted to hone in on when it comes to financial abuse and financial literacy. If it's not in a contract, I don't care if that's your cousin for 10 years. I don't care if he rode with you forever. If y'all are starting a business together, put it all in paper. And then even if you put it on paper, you still might have to go fight in court. You still might, and then you still might lose, even if you're in the right. It doesn't matter. These things happen all the time. But maybe if we were more aware, maybe if we knew, hey, the first time somebody messes you up, that's it. We do the same thing in relationships. The first time somebody cheats on you, they're telling you who they are. We keep wanting to say, oh, it was just a mistake. A mistake is I said I was going to take out the trash, but I didn't. Not, I'm going to go text a girl for 6 months, right? Text a guy for 6 months, go to their house, have sex with them, start a relationship with them. That's choices. That isn't a mistake. It isn't a mistake. So the first time somebody shows you exactly who they are and what they are capable of, first ask yourself, am I capable of shit like that? Would I do that to somebody? I'm so trusting because I thought before with the mindset of, well, I wouldn't do that to you. That doesn't mean they won't do it to you.
So do you think, I'm just curious, because I see clearly like, it's so many people leaving now. Do you think that was the problem with everybody? Like the
money?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I don't know why. I feel like a broken record at this point, just letting this man know that he's essentially useless. So like, I don't know what else to do. Like, to not even like, why do you have, if you don't care about what is happening, why do you have her on like
Yeah.
How was he like, how is somebody able to, like, I guess, get that off?
I want to say this. I know it sounds like weird and it's not going to make sense, right? And I wish it did. I wish it made more sense, but I'll say that when somebody has been abused since they were a kid, they've learned how to lie, hide, mask, manipulate. I'm not saying everyone that's been abused. Because some people, they take that abuse and they say, I'm going to fight for others. I'm not going to be the person that abused me. And some people turn into the abuser. Okay, we say, how is this happening? Okay, well, he told me that a mentor of his has been hurting him for years, ever since he was a kid. And this mentor is still doing that to boys to this day. Well, that would have been 20 years. 20 years. So I post a picture of the mentor. I don't even say the name. And 15 people come out and say, that's the guy. And yep, he did it. And this is his name. And this is where you can find him. And he's doing that to Sandra's boy. This is not a real name, but this is just a fake name, right? Sandra's boy. How? So you mean 15 people can point to a man and say, you do this to little boys, yet he's not in jail? How? Well, he's good at, maybe, right? Allegedly, I don't want to get sued, but maybe he's good at manipulating, lying. Maybe he's learned how to groom the little boy so good that the boy is like, nah, not me. Nah. Cause he starts off like a friend, like a big brother. Hey, bro, them shoes is, oh, hey, bro, I got you. Come to the mall. Like, damn, this person really looks out for me. This person really loves me. Until you find out what the ulterior motive is, that love was fake love, that love was given to you for a reason. Now, what is that reason? Well, depending on the type of person you are, some people, the reason is because I love love and I love to pour in and I hope to receive. And some people's reason is because I need you to trust me so that you can become vulnerable so I can really fuck you up because I like to deliver the same type of hurt that was delivered to me. I mean, shit, yeah, you didn't deserve it, but neither did I. So here we are.
You know, how do you think you I guess if all of y'all have like a similar story, everybody left, right? How do you
Everybody didn't leave.
A lot of people left.
Who?
I don't know names, I don't know characters, but I seen
Everybody didn't leave.
Trip. It was a few people. The girl, the other.
Kitty didn't leave.
Oh, okay.
Kitty didn't leave.
All right, girl, hang it up. hang it up. No. No. Now I'm feeling like I need to make ramen tonight to feel like I got a warm hug. Cause like ain't nobody got time for this. A deep ancestral sigh. This man is just there.
Because that's what I was wondering. Like, how do you then start? Like, why is it static between y'all now? Because
so as we were on tour, so you asked me about my son off camera, right?
Mhm.
You were like, how was touring with a kid? It was hard because I'm a single mom. So when my child is not with me, I have to like make sure my child is squared away, right? Because and it hurts because you're not with your child, right? So we're with people every single weekend, every day, eating breakfast with them, going partying with them at night, going to bed. They become our family. So in a weird way, we are family. We are this fucked up, dysfunctional type family. And Daddy Mojo runs the show. So we're all getting together and I'm hearing Kitty say, he put me in debt, Kita. I trusted him with that tour shit. I know you told me not to. Cause I'm saying to her, like, it's hard to tell somebody and warn somebody about the abuse that they're about to receive. If you got a homeboy and you tell him about this girl named Carmen and she bad, and he like, hey, watch out for Carmen. Carmen's gonna fuck you up. In your mind, you might take heed. But if Carmen's real bad, you might be like, that nigga's just mad. And that's what it is. So I tried to warn people. I tried to say, hey, with that money shit, if it's not about tour, don't do it with him. Don't do no outside business with him because it's not gonna go right. But she did, and she was putting $30,000 worth of debt. And then I talked to Trip, and Trip said that he had been working for him for 10, 12 years. So since like 2013. And back in the day when they were just doing poetry shows, he promised to pay them like a couple $100s a week or something like that. And he didn't get the money. He wouldn't get the money, like Trip didn't get paid. But then he would overhear him bragging about making $30,000 that week. Well, it's the same thing, except that was 10 years ago.
Okay.
It's the same shit. He'll put you in something, put you in a little bit of debt, mess with your money a little bit, mess with your merch. Mess with your money, right? And then when you confront him about it, he'll say, he'll make up an excuse. I don't know. I didn't know it was gonna pan out. Or with Kitty, he had said like, he had wanted her to invest in her tour. He had wanted her to pay for all these venues and the DJ and do all the stuff. And he was going to come in with like $30,000 in the back end, but he didn't. So now she's forced to do all these things.
Y'all. She keeps using the young boy analogy that I'm not sure is an analogy, so confused. Yeah, I actually don't know how I feel about her using his trauma, but she's saying he uses it. But I don't know how I feel about that. But actually, there's a Trip Fontaine part of this that I was very interested in because I saw that he did a live stream where he's addressing it. And I haven't really watched him because he was with Kitty, the other lady that she's dragging, and they were doing this prior meeting, prior warrior thing, and to know that apparently she's a terrible person, allegedly, based on what Kita is saying behind the scene, and he I don't know, she isn't willing to say he's a bad person. She's saying Trip is a good person. Kind of want to see this because I'll do that on my own time. I'll do that on my own time. It's fine.
But now she's forced to do it alone whereas she thought she would have a business partner. The business partner always pulls out at the last moment. So I wanted to talk about that, right? In the series and explain things like that.
Mhm.
So we all came together and we were like, I was like, we're going to ask for what we worth. Because this man is constantly telling us every weekend he makes millions and he's rich. And did you see his new this? And he just bought a penthouse in Atlanta. Okay. Well, me and Trip are Airbnb because we have to save money. So me and Trip have to Airbnb so that we can get.
Wait, isn't Trip the one that say he's a millionaire? I'm pretty sure we'd reviewed a video where Trip was saying he's a millionaire. Sorry. Sorry. This is a whole separate question. Someone said Atlanta straight. I ain't doing that with y'all.
Get to the show so that we can perform for you to make you the millions that you're just going to brag about. Kitty as well. So I told Kitty, I'm like, you're really important, Trip. You're very important. The clips are you. It's y'all. I'm the comedic, aspect of the actual show. So you're not going to see me too much on the clips. But when you come in person, I'm going to make the party happen. And if he doesn't want to give us what we're worth, because he was already in talks of replacing us. He said, Dimitri is going to be a replacement for a Trip. B. Simone will replace me. Dr. Cheyenne replaced Randy, and Kitty, I guess Kitty was always going to be just there. She wasn't going to get replaced, but I didn't know that. So me and Kitty were waiting to see who her replacement was going to be. And we just said this shit was unfair. We've been rocking with him. We had been pouring into this platform, these apps. He's making hand over fist. He's showing us his Shopify. He's showing us these things to brag. This is unfair. So we're going to either leave and do our own shit because we know that's the way to get him. He doesn't want to let you go. So we're going to leave. We're going to do what we got to do and we're going to leave. So, I thought we were going to band together, but we didn't. But you see, my military experience helped me navigate through a situation where we're strong and we're emboldened and we're going to fight against an abusive person. But at the very last minute or when shit gets hot, you will be fighting alone. Okay. I know how to do that. And that's what happened. Okay. So I don't know who left. Last I heard, he said, I got Trip back. So that's why I need you back. But I don't think he wants me back anymore after all this.
Would that be something you would do though?
No.
Oh, I was about to say.
Wait, so Trip Fontaine went back? Wait, this is news. This is news. All right.
Sometimes with an abuser, you have to do things so extreme that I turned you off from me. Because if you run, he'll chase. So now he don't want shit to do with me. Great. Let's keep it that way. Never call again. Never email again. I'm not associated. So it's not that I want this black man to fail. It isn't that I want to, to do this and that. Yeah, of course I'm mad. I shot shots, right? Like on social media, we took shots because I wanted it to be direct. We get paid every day to teach people how to have healthy and happy relationships. We get paid to teach people how to heal. We get paid to teach people how to resolve conflict. So let's show them in real time. What's the problem? We get paid to do it. We get paid very well to do it. So what's the problem? We get paid, or do we get paid to pretend and we don't actually know how to do it in real life? Is that what happened? So
did you ever get your money?
I'm never going to get my money. I'm never going to get my money. Also, I'm never going to get my money. And also, he's probably going to take me to court. And he does have a substantial amount of money, so he can try to drag it out as much as he wants. Lawyer fees are expensive. That's another reason why I wanted to do what I did, because it's like people were saying, just shut up, just go to court. Do you know how fucked up it is to say to somebody that has been financially abused, just go to court? It's fucked up because yes, go to court, of course. But court takes away from you working a job. Court is long, it's stressful. Court is everybody else having to be subpoenaed so they can't go to work, so now they're mad. Court is your lawyer charging you $300-400 an hour, and he's charging you every time he answers a phone or texts. He would, for example, before this whole thing started, when I dropped my first couple videos, that's when he started calling me over and over and over and over. And then he said he was like, I just want this to go away. We can show the public that we'll resolve this conflict. We can even talk to Ayala. I was like, okay, make it right. You know what you promised me. You know all this shit. Make it right, and let's figure out how we can do it. Because I'm already finna tell people about the financial. But as I'm doing that, I'm answering DMs. I'm looking at my stuff, and all this shit is happening. So I'm while we're on the phone, I'm like, did you do this? So you did know about the mentor, and you said it. So okay, but with the ex-wife, with these, I said, because shit sounding real similar with you calling and emailing and them having to put a protective order out on you. Shit sounding real similar. Sounds like you did it. I didn't do that. But then even with me, he thinks that he doesn't do anything wrong. I have recordings. I had to record him because I didn't trust him, but he recorded me too. Called me over and over, days and days. I think he induced, or is that a word? Induced? Yeah, induced a manic episode. My lawyer and me were up until midnight, sometimes 1 a.m. talking to him and his lawyer about fixing this whole problem, paying me my money, making sure the ex had some money, because the fact that you're giving out relationships advice and you did so much shit and it's all going to come out and crash, you might want to clear that up instead of being like, I bought a Atlanta penthouse, where the hoes at. You got some more shit to worry about than where the hoes at. And as we're talking, I'm tired, I'm hungry, I'm stressed out because I have to bear the burden of knowing all this shit. I didn't know this, but now I gotta know. So you know what? Everybody gotta know.
Create a legal a GoFundMe for the legal bills and just go ham. Continue to making the videos, have a GoFundMe. It is a lot of work. I will say that. It is a lot of work. And he can draw it out. So I get that, but I do not think you should. I mean, I guess you could do a counter claim, right? But I don't know that I like him being the first one to file and try to get a gag order on you, particularly when you're using it to make money. And there could be sort of a preliminary injunction. And if there is a preliminary injunction, that might just completely prohibit you from being able to talk about this and make money, and that would not be great for you, at all. This is not legal advice. Don't take anything I say as legal advice. The way I forgot this man was he is so useless, girl. He is so useless.
If I gotta know, sure, I could have healed alone. Sure. I could have been in my room, mad. He messed me over with money. Then I found out this. Then I found out that. Then I could have just talked shit in my stories. Those people were going to come anyways. Those people are going to find who has a common enemy. You know why? Because they're not strong enough. And I'm not trying to talk shit, but they're not strong enough to fight on their own. Victims will find victims. That's why it's so stupid that after the whole Diddy shit happens, people are like 150 people came out. Well, yeah, over 20 years, I bet. What did you think? He only did something bad to one person? I'm not saying everybody's, telling the truth. There are people that look for opportunities to pretend that something happened to them so that they can get a quick payday. Sure. All them people ain't lying. Everybody ain't fucking lying. So yeah, I'm not going to hold you. I'm going to take accountability. Was I going to sign that NDA for that $500,000 so that I can get the money to the people and we can let this go? Yep. But I think God has a funny way of being like, nah. No, you're not. I was tired of fighting. I have been fighting this whole time. I have been fighting forever. I was going to sign it. I wanted to let it go. Enough. Let me move on, do my own ventures. Clearly, I'm not good with working in spaces with people that act like that. Let me move on. But I am going to talk my shit because you took my audience. So I'm finna get my audience back, period. But when everything came out, it became deeper. And I think God was like, you don't have no choice. So, the reason I say I thought it was God, I think it's God because he had been calling me and offering money and trying to induce, try to provoke me and get me manic to make things right. But really it was to record me so that he could post me trying to extort him for $500,000. So that basically I sound crazy, I sound whatever. And that's what he would always do when he would do little things. He would always do that, like calling me Kitty's name on stage. He would always do little things to piss me off so that when people saw me mad at work, imagine you see somebody mad at work, you'll be like, what's wrong with John? Mm-hmm. Oh, he's bipolar, he's crazy.
So she was about to take $500,000. There was a deeply emotional aspect of her confession there, and just nothing, just nothing. You just sit there, nothing at all. No. Not even engagement, which I would engage with it, but not even any support, care, anything, but like nothing, no questions, no follow-up, no nothing. Just period.
He's having an episode again. All right, cool, absolutely.
Yo, what episode are you on now? Who the fuck did I work for?
I'm on 15.
All right, 15 episodes, and I feel like it changed the tempo changed a
It
little bit.
had to. Shit came out, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna tell it all. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it.
I was gonna ask you, but are you like, do you feel yourself getting tired now?
Yeah. I feel like I told the truth. It got jumbled. It got convoluted. It still don't make no damn sense. So my attempt at trying to make this shit make sense so that people say, failed. But at least I stood up for myself. I think everybody was like asking me, what's the point of this? If you ain't gonna get your money, what's the point? Well, if somebody takes everything from you, like the little things that I didn't think were abuse, over those years, I wasn't really wanting to content create. I wasn't pouring into myself, and I couldn't quite figure out.
Don't explain yourself. You're making your content, you're making your money, you're getting your audience back. Do not explain yourself. You're dragging because he wanted to drag and he did something that deserved to be dragged. So do what you do. Forget them people. Let me go subscribe.
Out what was wrong with me. I was in a good relationship. I felt I love my son. He's happy. Everybody's good. What's the issue? Why do I feel this way? I don't even want to work anymore. I don't want to create. I'm not creative. I'm not funny. What's wrong? It's because you are in an environment that is killing you. If you wake up every day and there is no will to live, I'm not saying you want to jump. I'm just saying if you were hit by a bus, you wouldn't be sad about it. Like that. Something, you have to fix something in your life. You need to do some type of reflective work. I like to journal. I sell journals. Some type of reflective work. Write it down and look at it. This is what's happening. This is what happened. This is how I felt when this happened. Because when you're in the midst of everything, you don't really know what's going on. I'm thinking to myself, he just mad. He keep calling me fat, but whatever. He keep calling me invaluable. He keeps saying that I'm this and that, but whatever. But hearing that, yeah, he screams in my face to where his spittle touches my face. But so what? I was in the military. I can say, I eat pussies like you for breakfast. I don't give a fuck. No, that's not true.
So when you look back on it, I guess, and you hear people say, well, what's the point of this? What would your direct answer be?
The direct one answer, if I could choose any answer, because there was a lot of points. I had a lot of points, like you played with me.
The answer is the answer is don't talk to me, girl. Don't ask me nothing. That's the answer. Like, this man don't listen and just keep re-asking the same question. Like, she just told you what the purpose, why she's doing it, and then you're like, if you could, like, no, sir, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna like re-answer the same question. I'm not doing that.
You fucked around. Here's how you find out, right? There was a lot of points. But the point is, when you've been financially abused, sexually abused, mentally abused, verbally abused, emotionally abused, spiritually abused, because there's a lot of church hurt. Some people aren't going to believe you. If don't do it because you think you're going to get praise, money, sympathy, no one's going to give a fuck. Everybody's dealing with their own abuse and they're looking at you like, whatever. Okay. Say it. Tell what happened. Say it over and over again in a mirror. Keep talking about it. I'm not saying that you got to let it consume you to where it's your life. I'm going to make a video and I'm going to explain as much as I can. And then I'm going to let it go. I'm going to do a docuseries because I'm funny and I want to play around with cinema. But it's my story. It happened to me. It was 4 years of shit. The worst 4 years I think I've ever experienced. And that's rich because I came from the military. They can take everything from you, but they cannot take your voice. They cannot take your story, just like they tell Black people. They can take everything from you, but they cannot take your education. They can't take what we know. And you know what happened, don't you? So even if everybody gaslights you, doesn't believe you, you know what happened. So say what happened. And if it makes people uncomfortable, I'll give you one example. You're cooking for Thanksgiving dinner, you're young, and your uncle comes up and touches you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You serve the food at dinner. You didn't like it. You're not okay with it. You serve the food at dinner. Everybody's sitting down. It's a beautiful dinner. And you say, hey, uncle, I didn't like it and I didn't appreciate it when you did this. Well, one, you've now just ruined Thanksgiving. Two, the people that didn't really expect to hear that bullshit are going to be very mad at you. So you're going to have anger from different people. The abuser is going to use that to distract from what the fuck is the true situation. What is the root? The root is you did something inappropriate. So yeah, you're going to be looked at as the family member that ruined Thanksgiving. People are going to be uncomfortable. People aren't going to talk to you. People aren't going to fuck with you. But guess what? You stood up for yourself. You stood up for yourself. They're uncomfortable. Guess what? I was uncomfortable when I was touched. You're uncomfortable. Guess what? I was uncomfortable when I was financially abused. They said, "Oh, you're being mean to them." Yeah, they abused me. I don't have to be nice to an abuser. Why would I coddle an abuser? That's the enabler's job. So, yeah, it would be you have a voice. Don't let nobody take your voice from you. They
makes
can take
sense.
everything. They cannot take your voice.
So it's 15 episodes now. How many more you think you got?
I ain't got nothing in me. Let me tell you, Risa Tisa and her 52 parts, she walked so I could run, and then I got tired. So no, I tried to make it make sense. I'm gonna keep trying to make it make sense, and that's why I keep saying I'm gonna keep talking about it like I'm talking with you. I'm gonna keep processing it. It just happened. I'm gonna keep thinking and talking. So if you hear me, yeah, I'm gonna go back to my regular life. I'm gonna go back to my funny content. I'm gonna go back to doing what I do. But if you hear me reference it, or if you hear me do a skit about it, if you hear me do whatever, I'm allowed to. You don't get to tell me, "Oh my God, let it go." No, it happened to me. No. If I slap the shit out you right now for no reason, you're allowed to tell people Keita Rose slapped the shit out of me when we were talking. And if it makes me look bad, then I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't have slapped you.
So in the perfect world, just curious, right? If he could see this, what's the guy name? Well, Mojo Jojo. I don't know if we can say the name. I don't like.
We shall call him Mojo Jojo.
Okay, if he could see this, right?
Yeah.
In a perfect world, if you could have it your way and this could be resolved, how would that look for you and him and all of this?
I love that question. So thank you. Sometimes some people do things to you and cut you and cross you so much that it ain't no going back. So there's no beef, but we will never go back to anything. I won't have anything to do with him. But if he wants to make it right, if he wants to make it, really wants to change and really wants me to have.
I hope that she does not feel uncomfortable saying, "Cut me my check." I hope that she does not feel uncomfortable saying that.
Some form, a drop of respect for him, he will go get help. And not just, I went to therapy. Like Diddy did when he was like, I never hit her, until the proof came out. And then he was like, okay, yeah, that was a really dark time in my life. I went to therapy. Not that. Really heal. You know what happened to you. Heal.
No, that will not help you specifically. It will help other people. He owes you money and he needs to pay you and also go heal. He needs to pay you, he owes you, and then he can go heal. Or he can do both simultaneously. I don't care. But I don't like the fact that there feels like there is a shame that comes with, "Oh, he owes me money." Absolutely not. Give me the money you owe me. Ain't nobody got time for that. I believe her, especially after Kitty Rose video. She claimed that Keita and Randy never owned up to their wrongdoing while simultaneously never owning IP to her. Owning IP to her own. Oh, didn't own the IP to her own stuff. Not once. I believe Keita. I believe her too. When I say I believe her, I'm not saying she's telling the truth. I'm saying I believe what she's saying is the truth. Not that it is, but I do believe her. Yes, I do believe her.
But the children that are currently being groomed, that's a problem. We need to fix that. The women that have a trail of tears and bruises, that's a problem. That shouldn't, you can't fix it. It already happened. I mean, a little money could have helped shit, but it already
Oh, owning up. Thank you. I appreciate that.
happened. So don't do it again, please. Don't continue this cycle, please. The people that are continuing to work on tonight's conversation and will continue to work with him forever have to know, watch your audience. Don't allow him to abuse you. Make sure your money right and don't trust him. Trust him what's on contract. He'll do what's on the contract. Anything else, and sometimes he won't even do what's on the contract. But anyways, anything else, no. Go do your job.
Yeah, I think there is this like underlying shame. Like people are, "Oh, she's doing it for herself." And what about it? "Oh, if you asked for money, it wasn't real. Don't care about your opinion. You owe me money. I'm going to go for my money and I'm going to still drag you." So wait, like, you owe me money. What do you mean? Like, I'm so sorry. Like, what do you mean? Like, I need my money and I can also be righteous and virtuous also. Like, what do you mean?
I told a lot of people that were still on the cast, have fun. I told Dimitri, have fun. Do your thing. You're smart. Everybody, you're talented. Don't let somebody that lacks talent drain you of yours. Don't don't let somebody that lacks a joy for life drain you just because he's miserable. Just because he won't heal, just because he won't forgive himself for something that somebody else did to him, doesn't mean you should allow him to drain you, especially not for a fucking podcast. Damn, imagine. It's a podcast. This is not a war. This is not PTSD from the army. This is a podcast where we sat and we were supposed to give our perspectives about life while simultaneously, that's how you say it, helping each other and learning and growing. And it was supposed to be something beautiful. And that's what I want our community to understand too. Things can be beautiful. Black people are beautiful. We are smart. We're funny. We're swagged out. We're the blueprint. We're educated. When you feel love from a Black man, it is, oh my God, when you feel love from a Black woman, it feels like a fucking hug every day. But if we keep continuing to sweep things under the rug and say, oh, well, he just fell from grace and whatever we say when we give abusers excuses, we'll never be where other communities are.
So you think just him getting help with?
Yes.
What about a public apology? Would that?
I don't care. No, that's not gonna be genuine until he gets the help. And same thing with Kitty. Until a narcissist says, there's this guy, I forgot his name, but he's you should probably talk to him. He is a diagnosed narcissist. So he basically explains how he would manipulate women, what he would do, how he would lie, how he would find people that were vulnerable, because that's what they do. So like, I'm a single mom, so like I need my bread. I don't play, because if I don't have money, my son ain't gonna eat. That's a problem for me. So he'll, try to get you maybe financially, but maybe you were broken in a relationship, like you were broken, and he's like, oh, I'm a former good guy maybe he'll try to get you like that. So I forgot where we were. I think I went on a tangent.
No, we're talking about the public apology.
Oh yeah. So it doesn't matter. Like she got, Kitty, she got on Instagram and was like, first she tried to bully me. We all, throw little shots subliminally. So the fans think it's just a video, but what the video's about. Mm-hmm. And so first she was like, oh, cry your tears. I had told Trip, I had cried to Trip about finding out that Kitty told Mojo Jojo the plan, and is essentially the reason why I was let go. But I really never let go. That's the whole thing too. I know, that's confusing, isn't it?
You said
Kitty told Mojo Jojo
the reason why you was let go, but you never was let go. So you quit, essentially, I guess.
So he's an avoidant, a fearful avoidant. So he's an avoidant. So it was, hey, you're telling everybody I'm fired. I guess you mad. I guess you're mad about what Kitty said. Am I fired? Tell me to my face. Confronting him. Tell me to my face. No, what? Oh, that's a lie. What? No, your contract's coming Monday. I told you I got you. And this is the year you're supposed to make the money back. I got you Monday. It's like, no. You can wait and wait. He'll never ever say it, because then he'll have to, I don't know. I guess having hard conversations really scares him. He won't let you go. He cannot say you're fired. He'll tell everybody so that they can tell you. We all, he triangulates. We all had our little telling people shit so he can get back to you, fuck you type thing. But when I told him, say it to my face. If you want to let me go, say it. He couldn't. And even still, when he called me, it's, I was going to give you even more money this year. You got to break away. Because that's what happens when women or men are in relationships for 20 years and finally you're free and you're like, wait, why did I stay for, what the fuck? It's because that person that was abusive to you kept on saying, baby, I'm sorry. Like, Kitty's exes came out too. And those were men, lots of them. Holy smokes.
So wait, would you, cause you said she apologized, right? And could y'all?
She ain't right. She ain't right for that. She ain't right for that.
I'll piece it up, or?
Hell no. It's the same way. She's a narcissist. I threw, people are like, why did you put Kitty in it? Listen, Kitty, I wasn't even gonna talk about. Like, fuck her. Okay, she was my friend. She snaked me. She wanted, she wanted some bread. She wanted the position, so she got me out. She got Randy out too. Cool. Fuck her. But she's a female narcissist, because when I threw in I got a problem with her too, her exes came out. And then, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, you really got close with me. You really found out things about my, family. You really wanted to have family day. You really wanted to make a point to buy me and my son matching shirts so we can all do movies.
The way I'm built, the messy in me would come out and we would get really deep into the story. This story would get amplified because we're getting into it. You said a lot of these men, it would be messy, but it would be good mess. I promise you. I don't know what he's doing, but
night, you really got close, and then you snaked me and said, "Oh, it's just business." Then why did you get so personal? Why did you want to get so? I mean, if it's just business, then I see you on stage, and then if we at the green room, I'll say hi. It's just business. Why did you want to infiltrate? Why did you want to become so close just a snake? It's the same way he does. I'm your brother. You're my sister. You're my sister. Come on, sister. Come on, sister. Just a snake. So I thought it would be nice to, demonstrate. I was wanting to teach. I wanted to start the series for a lot of reasons. It didn't go the way it needed to, but here we are. All their apologies, a narcissist is going to use what they know that you want, right? Maybe it's friendship, maybe it's money, maybe it's love, maybe it's whatever, maybe it's a kid, whatever. They're going to use it to get you back. And then they're going to apologize profusely. I'm so sorry. And I am going to take accountability for this because you have to understand that it's going to be this long, drawn out bullshit. If you really look at everything they're saying, none of it is really relevant. It's all bullshit. Like her response videos have been all about everything else other than what I've asked her to address. Why did you tell him?
Wait, what did you tell him?
That me and Trip and Kitty were supposed to come together and the plan, the whatever. Why did you tell him that? Why? And also, if you knew he was going to fire me from the jump, because that's what she told me. She said, oh, I knew you were going to be fired months ago. I said, well, why didn't you tell me? I mean, well, damn, I'm a single mom. We're friends. We do everything together. Why wouldn't you tell me? Would you tell your friend that they're about to lose their livelihood? Wouldn't you tell? I don't know. The Lord told me to just release that situation. I had to release it, Keita, because the Lord told me. And it's funny because before you got Randy out, you said that, the Lord told you to release Randy too. So I don't want her Lord to tell her nothing else that has to do with me. Please, Father God, please I don't want an apology. I'm straight on it. Just know we didn't grow apart. No, I didn't find another opportunity and I wish them well. And no. They snaked in the worst way, and they're not good at their jobs. They're good at pretending, and that's a part of the job, I guess. That's the entertainment. You even if you're sad, you have to like have a good face and a popping personality, right? You have to wear that mask. But who you are in your core, you're terrible people. All your exes, you know what? All my exes think about me. They think they want to come back. I'm not trying to flag, but they think they want to come back. And, you shouldn't leave a trail of people that have to heal from you, that have to come together in support groups because they've met you. And then fuck it. Even if that's the case and it is what it is, you shouldn't be giving advice on how to not do that because you clearly haven't, you clearly haven't taken it. You haven't practiced what you preached. And we live in a society where we're allowing even preachers to get away with not practicing what they preach. These people are bad at their jobs. And now it's time for you to find another job, I feel, or don't. But in 10 years, when something fucked up.
Look, I'm not the one who is going to harm first. Well, actually, one of my New Year's resolution is to forgive people. So, like, I'm with her. I'm with her now. You might don't need a support group if you pick. Like, I'm not hurting you. I won't hurt you first.
Stuff happens because it will, because these people never change. I don't want anybody to say, how come no one said anything? Keita said it, didn't she? I said it. I said, hey, there's a lot of fucked up shit going on over there. Now I'm gonna move on. But y'all should pay attention to that shit because it's a lot.
So what would you say, like, where do you go next from this?
I go on to creating. That's it.
Do you go back to like the relationship content?
I never changed. I never stopped. If you go through my pages, you'll see videos from 2018. I always created. Opportunities come. You create opportunities for yourself to make money. You monetize, but you sell products. You do your thing. I do my thing. But I didn't grow apart from this company or from these people, right? I didn't just want to take my own way. No, I clawed my way out of this shit, and I did so out of debt. I got out of debt, and I'm good.
There is no, I don't think I've harmed anyone ever in like relationship insofar as like betrayed them and betrayed their trust. But if someone ever came out and say, oh, Themis hurt me, pause them and say, what did you do? I have never just randomly decided to harm someone ever in my life.
I'm proud of myself. I wish more people would do that when they make bad, decisions, bad financial decisions. A lot of the times we just keep making those decisions and then we say, fuck it. No, we need to calm down. I know you want the money. I know you want to have things and do everything, but slow down and figure out how to make the money. and try not to have mentors that make it like by stealing, lying, manipulating, because 9 times out of 10 you're going to start stealing, lying, and manipulating because that's going to be the environment, right? Slow down, figure it out. Yes, it's going to take a long time. Yes, you want millions at 22, I get it. Yes, but you might get your first million at 35. And we also are conditioned to believe like, oh, after 30, it's over. Nigga, bye.
Facts.
Stop.
Nah, facts.
So that's where I think a lot of the abuse happens too, when we want to run after the money, we want the money, we want the money. We need to just chill. You gonna get it. I swear to God. People are like, you're never gonna work again because you did that. No influencers are gonna want to work with you. No da-da-da-da. Niggas, I ain't even never. People I've been fans of forever have reached out. What are you talking about? Started.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
that was the
you gonna do
show.
it on your own, or you gonna do that on your own?
I did it on my own. He was supposed to invest in it. He didn't.
No, I'm saying like now.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, from the jump, I did it on my. He's never done it. That was the lies.
Okay.
I think if I didn't, I guess to you even.
All right. Well, that was boring. I like her, but the rest he annoyed me. Keita Rose, I have done some research. If you're hearing and you want to talk, I'm fully available to talk to you because I would love to talk now. So who did the interview? I would also love to talk to you. I have questions. I'm going to start questioning all of these people with like podcasts because obviously you want to make money. Obviously all of that is true, but like, why not interview people that you care about or that you are interested in? It is weird to just sit up there and like not be like involved in half the time we didn't even know you were still there. Demas, could this be the possibility that this is her karma for taking advantage, I think, of people financially? Now the wheel spun to her because they were charging people on bogus teaching they were not living false experts. I don't know that I believe fully in karma. Having not watched tonight's conversation, I don't know what they're telling people. I don't know if it's good for people. I don't know if people just showed up for the entertainment value. I don't know. But what I do know is that I don't excuse the behavior of bad people. I don't excuse him taking advantage of her if that is true, financially abusing her if that is true, cheating on his girlfriend if that is true, beating his girlfriend if that is true. I don't know that I feel comfortable saying that she was a part of some foolishness in terms of production, like she was creating a show that wasn't helpful. I'm not sure if I'm going to use that to ignore his bad behavior. You know what I mean? But I would ask her when she found out about all of those negative behaviors by the people involved and why she stayed with them. And there is this element of content creation and money and being a single mother and all of that. And I do think there's a lot of discourse to mine here. But I would love to talk to her about it, and not just talk about her. If she sees this and cares enough, I would love to. I don't think I'm going to reach out, but I'm fully available and willing. But I also don't want her to feel pressured into like talking to me. She's doing her own thing, and good on her. I'll just support from a distance, keeping my platform open. All right. Thank you all so very much. That was definitely one of the most useless interviews that I've ever seen. From the interviewer's perspective, she really came and delivered some nuggets. I enjoyed listening. But I definitely don't know why he was there. And I might actually try to reach out to him to say, sir, we need to talk. Because instead of giving the advice to Hafiz, I could go and give the advice to him and say, this is why what you're doing is kind of useless, and maybe try to make it less useless and more useful. So that's that on that. Thank you all for being here, and let's go into the after show and below this popsicle stand. I don't know what that means, but I'm assuming leave. We don't want him here. Boycott Demas. Well, y'all say y'all don't want Hafiz here, and y'all just love talking about Hafiz. Let me look at something. I'm not gonna play this, but let's see what Hafiz is doing for the for our next commercial. Let me see. I won't play it. Oh, Hafiz is live. Yeah, Hafiz is live.
And so Fox News did a very good article from somebody from the men.
Walking into Hafiz saying Fox News did a very good article is just not. It's just not the. That's just not the way that I wanted to end. Like walking into Hafiz saying, "Oh my God."
Hack Institute kind of breaking down what some of these programs that the Department of Education.
The Gen Z revival loneliness epidemic breaking 7 figures. Let's hear this. Because they for the Republicans in the chat, hey, why do y'all want to destroy the Department of Education? Yeah, what did the Department of Education do? Why are there videos upon videos of content creators saying that the Department of Education needs to be destroyed? 5 years ago, y'all were not making videos saying that we should destroy the Department of Education. The fact that we're up here sitting thinking, oh, you know what is a good idea? It is a good idea to remove and destroy the Department of Education. That is wild. And sitting up here attempting to justify it is wild. If you think we are not reading at a, 7th grade level, imagine what is going to happen when you can't afford to send your kids to private school, to charter school. The fact that y'all are not saying, let's invest more into education, let's revamp this education system, let's standardize education, let's separate access to education from property taxes. The fact that that's not the conversation is wild to me. The inequality that is about to emerge around education that already exists, mind you, that is going to be amplified by the lack of and the destruction of the Department of Education is going to be catastrophic. It is not going to help. We need more money put into education, not less. We need more standards in education, not less. The fact that people are looking at the education budget and not realizing, like, the Department of Education is also how we get loans. You know, that, like, people who can't get into school, people can pay for. All right. I'm gonna wait till Friday, but let me hear what he got to say.
It's funny. Let's go ahead and check that out. Okay, so here's how he broke it down. What is the best way to proceed in regarding to dismantling the Department of Education? The administration must first understand that the Department of Education administers 3 primary activities: 1, college student loans and grants; 2, K-12 funding; and ideological production, which includes an array of programs, grants, civil rights initiatives, and third-party NGOs that create left-wing content to push on local schools. It is not possible or desirable to shut down all 3 functions at the same time. Rather, Secretary of Education nominee Linda McMahon, in partnership with Musk and Doge, should handle each of these things separately. So let me go ahead and break that down, what it means to you guys. When it comes to the Department of Education, first, as it relates to higher education funding, meaning helping students go into college, Donald Trump's administration does not desire to remove Pell Grants and funding for kids to go to college. That's not the desire. The second thing, when it comes to funding students who are disabled, funding poor performing education systems around our country, Donald Trump's administration has no desire to remove and dismantle those things. The big thing is the third thing that was described in the story, which is the.
But how can you guarantee, if you dismantle the Department of Education, how do you plan on, because the Department of Education is a consolidation of different programs that extend over different parts of the government, right? Then it came together and we now have a centralized place for all of these issues relating to people. How do you How do you propose we keep the Pell Grant? How do we also? Why do you believe they don't want to do away with the Pell Grant? What make you believe they want to keep specifically the Pell Grant? Are you dumb? These people are actually insane. We might literally do a whole program Friday on the Department of Education and why it is absolutely insane that people who are supposed to be reasonable people are jumping on the bandwagon of, oh, let's dismantle the Department of Education. If the work, if schooling is not up to par, we fix it. We don't dismantle the Department of Education. We're going to go to why we created the Department of Education, under what president, which ties into the why. I'm going to leave all of that for a minute. We're going to talk about what it does and doesn't do, and why it is important to maintain it. We might literally just make the entire stream Friday about the Department of Education. We might actually just do that, because this is pissing me off. And this is like the fourth conservative, oh, I was going to say large content creator, but he's no longer one of them. So, but he's one of the fourth people that I've seen talking about why we should destroy the Department of Education. What's that other girl's name? She just got fired from the Daily Wire or whatever it is. I forgot her name.
Ideological production. And so what I've realized from doing my research is that the Department of Education is funding a lot of these NGO, non-governmental organizations, that take government money and use it to preach all these ideas. Usually those ideas are Marxist ideas to our next generation. And if you don't believe me and you think I'm putting on this right-wing tin hat, let me go ahead and read you guys a sample of what the Department of Education says that it's trying to do. All right, the font is a little bit tiny, so I'm gonna try to read it for you guys. Oh, I can zoom in, even better. Check this out, guys. This is from the Department of Education's website, education.gov. The Department of Education identifies the major issues and problems in education and focuses national attention on those. The department makes recommendations for education reform. The secretary advises the president in this regard and leads the department in implementing the president's education policies in many arenas. Here is why that's a problem.
Wait, that's the problem. Wait, he gonna tell us why that's the problem. He's gonna tell us why that, because maybe my brain hasn't clicked. He's gonna explain why it's the problem, why that was Marxist. To go and look at the problem in education and propose solutions. All right, let's see.
Guys, for the past 4 years, what education policies has the president want to implement into the next generation of students? And what you see is that a lot of this woke ideology, a lot of this unhealthy DEI messaging was being promoted to simply be education reform. You see, that's the part that the people.
Okay, then fix it. We have a new president, and if they're pushing the president's agenda, then fix it. What are these woke ideologies? Oh my God, these people are kind of useless, honest to God. Or you could separate the Department of Education from politics. You could propose that. Could try to make it more independent and have all the administration sort of agree to having it independent. I mean, the Department of Justice should have been that until Trump decided that it shouldn't be. So, I mean,
people on the left don't want you to understand. They want you to think, oh, they're just going after the kids' funding. No, it has nothing to do with the kids' funding. If you read more about what the Trump administration is trying to do, they're trying to take the funding and put it in the Treasury Department and other areas. But what they want to stop doing is allowing the top-down governmental structure of imposing ideas into the next generation. It's the idea of simply saying, you know what, we want to have racial.
Yes, they're trying to weaken the government's ability, and by doing so, remove money from funding the school program. If you think that is Marxist, completely fine. But what you do recognize is if you take away that funding, if you take away the engagement with the federal and the state government and then down to the district level and the schools, it makes no sense to me that you think this will create a better outcome for people who don't have resources. Like, it makes absolutely no sense to me that you would advocate for a program that will create a kind of educational disparity that America has not seen. And mind you, thus far, we already have that disparity. You go in, you mess up a system, and then you point to the system that you messed up and say, oh, the system is not working. We need to just remove it.
Sensitivity training in all of our schools, and the Department of Education is promoting NGOs that then go into schools and share these ideas. And so what's also interesting, guys, when you go ahead and continuously read a little bit more about what the Department of Education is doing, here's another thing that they say that they do. It's number 4, which is a key thing. The Department of Education enforces federal statutes prohibiting discrimination in programs and activities receiving federal funds and ensures equal access to education for every individual. Here is why that sentence is a problem.
Equal access is a problem. Let me hear this one. After this one, I'm done. After this one, I'm done. After this one, in the name of Dr. Umar, I am done. The Department of Education is making sure using funding that there isn't discrimination. All right, girl, let's go. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a trans issue coming up somewhere here, but let me hear it.
What is discrimination in programs and activities?
What is discrimination in programs and activities? Let's go.
What does that mean, right? So if the Department of Education is simply saying that, okay, we want to stop schools from not allowing Black kids to play sports, or we want to stop schools from not allowing Hispanic kids into their schools. No one's against that. But here is how the Department of Education.
Okay, well, stop talking, and that's what it does. That it does that.
Has now used this new idea. Now, what the Department of Education was doing during the Biden administration was saying that, hey, if you are a school and you're not allowing this transgender girl to compete with the biological women.
We'll talk about this Friday. He's so predictable. They are all so predictable. They are all. So you want to disrupt an entire system that is talking about equality because maybe 10 trans people in sports. Now, you can come out wherever you want to come out. I'm not about to fight with y'all about this. If you think this is so serious as to disrupt the entirety of the Department of Education, then you and I are just on completely different aisle politically, and I don't care to hear it. If that is if that's where you are hanging your hat when it comes to equality, I'm going to have a problem with you. The fact that you want to disrupt the entire funding process and the Department of Education because you have a trans panic is absolutely wild to me. And I knew that was coming. But you want to know the problem? Even to concede that you are going to disrupt the entirety of people's access to education, children's access to education, and discrimination more broadly because of a blip on the system. By the way, yeah, this is why, here's an example of why we need to invest more in the Department of Education. Maybe throw some speech therapy in high school. All right, I'm done. Thank you all for being here. Have a wonderful night. I think that the main focus for Friday's live stream will be education and the Department of Education. I think I'm going to curate some videos and I'm going to engage with some of the videos talking about dismantling the Department of Education. Yeah. All right. Thank you all for being here. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. I will try to do again more live streams when I have the time at night because I enjoy them. So have a good night. Bye.